breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bowberry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bow-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bow time.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rates to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rates in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Your Carolina Hurricanes are taking to the ice this holiday season, and they've got a chance for you to be part of the action. Enter today to win 2 tickets to see the Canes take on the Canadiens on New Year's Day. Register to win at hurricanes.com/radio.
Did you know that Bailey's Fine Jewelry has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for luxury designers, fine diamonds, and watches, but we also have a huge selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. We're celebrating making holiday gifting easy since 1948. You can shop online at baileybox.com, or we invite you to visit one of our locations in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte to see why every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. With the cold front swinging through the area, we'll see increased chance for rain starting during the evening commute today. That'll last through early Friday, a few spotty showers through mid-morning Friday, then clearing as we head throughout the rest of the day tomorrow. Temperatures will reach the upper 50s and low 60s this afternoon.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 43 points to 47,929.
Set for Stankoven. He shot in. They score! Out in front, Jackson Blake. There's your traffic trip. Chance for Aho again. He scores! A power play goal! The Canes, Sebastian Aho. Jarvis with the one-timer. He scores! Oh, that was puck movement and a quick release. Knocks him off, sent back, and a massive save. Kochetkov follow-up on Forsberg with a denial. Svechnikov with the intercept, trying to get it to Aho. He does Aho, empty net, bingo!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan on a Thursday. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. It is day 9 of the 10 days of CanesMas. So we'll have our penultimate gift to give in CanesMas for this year at 4:45 today. You want to be tuned in with your dialing fingers ready. The Canes won last night. NC State men's basketball won last night. And thank you all for asking. I had a wonderful time at Disney on Ice with my kids. But I've watched all the games. I'm ready to talk about them. So let's go ahead and jump into the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
NC State men's basketball has one of the most confusing nights of all time last night. They smoked Texas Southern.
Yeah.
108-72.
It's a lot of points.
They had a player on their team break records. Paul McNeil Jr. Oh, by the way, you played just 26 minutes. Just take everything I'm going to say under that umbrella. Had 47 points. 10 rebounds, so technically a 45-plus point double-double. Only took 18 field goal attempts, 12 of 18. 17 of those field goal attempts were from three. He went 11 of 17 from three, 12 of 12 from the free throw line. And here's my favorite stat of the entire night for Paul McNeil Jr. 0 turnovers. Also, 0 assists. My guy wasn't passing because the basket looked like a darn hula hoop. There's a lot of ways we could frame the night for Paul McNeil Jr. One of the ways is this. Shout out to OptaStats. Paul McNeil Jr. is just the second Division I or NBA player in the last 30 years to have 45 or more points, 10 or more rebounds, and 10 or more threes in a non-overtime game. It would be him and Steph Curry, who did it once back in April of 2025. That's it. That's all.
That's good company.
Think of all of the NBA games, all of the NBA greats, all of the college games, all of the college greats in the last 30 years. Paul McNeil Jr. and Steph, only ones to do that. So, and this is, partially why I said I was at Disney on Ice last night with my with my kids, because I knew I was going to come in early today and I was going to watch all the games. But I see the final score, and I check my phone on social media, and I see everyone's reacting to what Will Wade says, and Will Wade lit his team up in the postgame. 108-72. One player has a unique, only he and Steph Curry game, scores 47 points, and Will Wade lit up his team in the postgame. Obviously, Will Wade being the first-year head coach of State. We'll play you the full 4-minute interaction with the media in about 10 minutes, but I thought I'd give you just a taste here so you knew what we were dealing with. Here's Will Wade calling out his team for the personality and lack of toughness they've shown.
We take on the personality. We got a lot of casual personalities on our team. We don't have people that are revved up and ready to go. I mean, I had one of the kids come to me, I'm tough. I said, you're not in the top 50 of the toughest players I've coached. Not even the top 50. I don't want to hear that. You ain't tough. You don't make the top 50. You would make the top 25 of the last 5 years of who I've coached. And I sat out a year. I mean, I don't want to hear that. When you got casual guys, I mean, it's tough.
Message sent. 4 minutes of that. More creative ways and some of the lines of the year already. We'll play it for you and talk about what he was trying to do, what the impact could be, and try to decipher through the coach speak translators that we all possess what Will Wade was doing in the postgame of the big win over Texas Southern for his NC State Wolfpack. That's number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
Carolina Hurricanes on the road at Nashville. They won 4-1. It truly was one of the games that you just sit back and enjoy. You had Aho multiple goals. You had a Jarvis goal. You had great plays from speed players like Ehlers doing the speed thing. You had Jacob Slavin out there making plays. You had your Keandre Miller making plays. Alexander Nikishin making plays. We darn near had a Pyotr Kochetkov goal. You had the full good Pyotr experience.
I was hoping he'd score so badly.
Oh, man. As soon as you saw him think about it, I was like, oh, he's going. It's a similar feeling to when you see Svech start taking his stick and going low like he's going to go for the lacrosse goal, and you're just like, oh, he's going for it. When you see Pyotr just kind of take the peek and go, oh, he's going to go for it, isn't he? Just couldn't quite get it there. And credit, I guess, for the hustle to the defenseman. But my point is this. They beat Nashville 4-1. Sometimes you just need a game where things go well, where your players play well. It was just a good game, and it doesn't have to be a ton more complicated than that. That's the teaching game. That's the see. If you listen and do what we say, it can be that fun game. At least that's what I would do if I were Rod Brindamore. Here's Rod Brindamore after the game about his overall happiness with the win over Nashville.
Well, it was great. I thought we had a great game. I thought first period probably deserved a little more. We did everything we needed to do. We just only got one, and then second was kind of whatever. It wasn't much happening. We did have a couple good looks. Their goalie kept them in it, and I thought our guy played great in the third when we needed it. So good goaltending performances from both teams, but I thought we were good tonight.
Obviously, we can talk about the lasting effects of that game, lasting effects of Pyotr Kochetkov playing well, lasting effects, depending how long it lasts, of a Jordan Martinook injury, lasting effects of Sebastian Aho breaking his 5-game pointless streak in a big way. But if you're just looking at last night's game, it's good. According, again, the injury kind of notwithstanding, but it was just they played well. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
The NC State Wolfpack football team plays in a bowl game Friday, which is tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's the Gasparilla Bowl. Kind of a weird time for a bowl game. I don't hate the afternoon games on Christmas week, but the week before, it's like, how much?
That's a little odd.
How much PTO you think we're all taking here? You think we're going like 3 weeks off for Christmas here?
Some might be.
If you can, credit to you. But they play tomorrow at 2:30. Today, though, the news for NC State is, according to his agent, who has now spread it to On3, it was at CBS Sports. That's the first place I saw it. It's been proliferated. Hollywood Smothers, their stud running back, entering the transfer portal while also exploring possibilities of the NFL draft. That's a bummer. I really enjoyed watching Hollywood Smothers this year, particularly for the first 8 games or whatever it was before he started getting banged up and his production slowed down. But it's rare. I don't want to say it's rare, but it's satisfying when a player has a year where they very obviously flash the ability to be really, really good, and you talk to coaches about how excited they are about that player stepping up and being a bigger part, and then they just do it. Right? Last year, they didn't always feature Hollywood Smothers, meaning not the year that just ended, the previous year. First year he was at NC State. But when they gave him the ball, it was like, oh, there's something there. And then coming into this year, it was very much, let's see what he can do as a featured player. And for the first, like I said, whatever it was, 7-8 weeks of the season, it just worked. He was just a really good player. Production wasn't always there, but eye test always was for Hollywood Smothers. If you gave him a crease, he would find a way to get through it and pick up yards. So there's 2 sides of this. One, you want to be happy for the player. I assume he's about to get paid, right? His skills on the open market, they're going to be coveted. And if he wants to go to the highest bidder, that highest bidder will have to bring their checkbook. So,
apparently, he's also going to leave open the possibility of going to the NFL.
Which he wouldn't do if there wasn't going to be a likelihood of him being drafted high, which would come with a nice big old check. So credit to the player, right? He's built his skills up, his value up to a place where he can cash in. Good for him. I wonder if, right, you've heard me talk about how fun it was to watch Hollywood Smothers. I wonder if the fact that he did get banged up later in the season and Duke Scott played well, if that didn't make Hollywood Smothers more expendable to the NC State staff than maybe they originally thought. Right? If it wasn't, we're prepared to go to X dollars, or we're prepared to make this amount of him our priority, and Duke Scott played really well, and they went, well, let's reel that back in a little bit. We'd still love to have him, but we're not going to go up to where we were prepared to, because then you can spend it elsewhere, right? If Duke Scott was cheaper and you think he's at least close, maybe you then spend it on an offensive lineman, or you can up your bid to a player like CJ Bailey if he's wavering, and you can, in a weird way, manage your cap in a different way. Talking college football, which is just crazy. You can manage your revenue share in a different way to funnel it towards other positions. Because, we can go back to a conversation we had right here on this show with Dave Doran, where I asked him straight up, I was like, how much does it change week to week? And this was right after Duke Scott he ran for like 195 or whatever it was against Georgia Tech, who was the number 8 team in the country. I said, are you and your staff getting together and saying, all right, we got to come up with more money for Duke Scott because he just had a big game? And he was like, well, yeah, kind of. That is kind of how it works. Mm-hmm. He's like, we're not trying. He, meaning coaching staff, isn't talking with players about it, but front office has to have those conversations that fluidly, like be that adaptable. So I guess I should ask the opposite, right? Instead of saying, oh, we got to put aside more money for Duke Scott, he just had a big game, maybe the meeting was, we don't have to put together nearly as much together for Hollywood Smothers because we have Duke Scott, and he just showed what he can do when he's the bell cow. He had 2 games with double-digit carries. One was against Campbell. He had 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. One was against Georgia Tech. He had 24 carries there, 196 yards and a touchdown. Maybe that's the roster building we're talking about that is very professional at the college level. Either way, Hollywood Smothers, great player. In the portal, at least expected to be according to his agent, and NC State still playing tomorrow against Memphis in the Gasparilla Bowl.
By the way, quick reminder for everyone out there when it comes to the transfer portal, you can always come back.
True. I do think it's harder if you don't play in a bowl game to then come back, just from a standpoint of team sports. But it is possible, very possible. And there's nothing that says you're not allowed to play in the bowl if you do say you're going in the portal. We've seen that happen at places as well. So, it kind of depends how healthy the breakup is. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I promised you 4 minutes of Will Wade ranting after his team's win last night. I should not rant for 4 minutes. I'm stumbling through it. But Will Wade, his 4 minutes, coming up next.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like Akoya Pearl Studs starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift-giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Nugget bells, nuggets all the way.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing them when we cut down the Christmas tree.
We will pack the car with gifts, and of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Your Carolina Hurricanes are taking to the ice this holiday season, and they've got a chance for you to be part of the action. Enter today to win 2 tickets to see the Canes take on the Canadiens on New Year's Day. Register to win at hurricanes.com/radio.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors, First Carolina Bank and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
To the end of the game. There's McNeil, a deep three-pointers up and down. That was 5 feet beyond the arc right. And Paul McNeil has 45, 11 threes tonight. Well, you can see that he's feeling it because that was another deep bomb from three-point range.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's a clip from last night's NC State men's basketball win over Texas Southern. 108-72, the final score. Paul McNeil finished with 47 points for State, 10 rebounds, went 11 of 17 from 3. The 11 makes a school record. Also perfect from the free throw line, 12 of 12. I should remind people, this is the very same Paul McNeil that scored 71 in a high school game when he was playing his high school ball right here in the state of North Carolina. So he is known to get hot, if you know what I mean. But 47 points.
Whew. Like you said, 26 minutes.
Only played 26 minutes. Catch and shoot, young man.
It's one thing if you played 38 or the game goes to overtime.
Took 34 shots.
Yeah.
17 three-point attempts, 11 makes. goodness.
That would boost the average.
And some, like, falling down, fouled. Like, they were not all wide-open catch and shoots. At one point in time, he was being triple-teamed. 47 points. It's unbelievable. Which is why, I mean, it might almost make this even more unbelievable. Will Wade, the head coach of NC State after the game, again, a 108-72 win in which one of his players broke scoring records, broke shooting records. He went on a seemingly very charged discussion about his team, and we have the full 4-minute clip of the audio for you. And, I couldn't find anything I wanted to cut out of it. I don't think Dennis could find anything he wanted to cut out of it, so we're just going to play the whole thing for you. Here's Will Wade.
It's tough. We got a lot of nice guys. Got a lot of nice guys. Got a great team GPA. We got all that stuff. Over 3.0. We got all that stuff. It's wonderful. We're running a daycare. We're running a competitive Division I college basketball coach. I am into academics. I was a teacher. I'm happy about 3.2. But we're running a competitive basketball program. And quite frankly, I've been trying to get some urgency and some internal leadership. And I think Q's done a pretty good job. Outside of Q and Venn, those guys are playing about as well as we can ask them to play. We take on the personality. We got a lot of casual personalities on our team. We don't have people that are revved up and ready to go. I mean, I had one of the kids come to me, I'm tough. I said, you're not in the top 50 of the toughest players I've coached. Not even the top 50. I don't want to hear that. You ain't tough. You wouldn't make the top 50. You would make the top 25 of the last 5 years of who I've coached. And I sat out a year. I mean, I don't want to hear that. When you got casual guys, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. But, it's about who can put. But I did think Venn and Q took a step forward with their leadership. But like today in our shoot-around, we made 88 mistakes in our shoot-around. I chart all of it. We made 88 mistakes in our shoot-around. We made 23 defensive errors, 13 offensive execution errors, 36 on those. The other ones were different. 36 errors on those. Our first team made 14. Our second team made 22. How the hell can you be on the second team and watch the first team do it and make 8 more mistakes? You're running the same stuff. Casual, lack of attention to detail, lack of focus. And that's great when you have somebody that sets the ACC record for made threes and the school record for made threes, but we're relying on hope that one of these cats is going to go ballistic every night. That's what we rely on, just hope, and hope's a bad strategy in my book.
Is it concerning that it's taking this long to get things going? Is that...
It ain't going. It's concerning it's taking this long and we're not there. And we got all high major games from here on out. Kindergarten's over. We got all high major games from here on out. I mean, it's concerning. I played some of those kids tonight. I made their Christmas. It's going to be miserable for me. I made their Christmas. They got a Christmas present a week early playing some of these guys. But, it is. I've been concerned for weeks. But this is it is. We are who we are. I said it a couple weeks ago. If you're not physical and you're not tough, you better be alert and aware. And we're still none of the four. We're not physical. We're not tough. We're not alert. We're not aware. If you're alert and aware, you don't give up 5 points on baseline out of bounds plays with the clock under 3 seconds. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. Our goal every game is to win baseline and sideline out of bounds by 6+. We never do it. We made it tonight because we actually executed our inbounds plays. But we just don't do it. It's beyond concerning. Concerns like here. This is like a problem. Major problem. We'll see. We got to have some internal leadership. That's what we got to have. We got to have internal leadership. We got to have urgency. We got to have intensity. We got to have effort on every possession. We have to dominate possessions. Dominate possessions. And we just get through possessions. Just hold on for dear life in possessions.
That right there is 4 minutes of well-crafted, efficient ranting to the media from Will Wade after a win. Now, there are, I think, some obvious things happening here. I think part of that was coaching through the media, right? He wants his players to hear it. He wants his players to have their friends ask about it. He wants their players to understand what he is expecting and understand that they have not been giving him what he is expecting. I think all of that is exceptionally obvious. I don't think that's all that's happening. So let's talk about some of these. Let's talk about some of the specific instances. Nice guys right out the gate. He said we got a lot of nice guys, and I like to think I have some social awareness. Right, I like to think I can pick up on sarcasm. I like to think, I can understand when somebody says something with it. That was not a compliment. Casual guys, he said multiple times. I'm gonna go back because, we watch sports. We can pick up body language and things. The first few games, which, by the way, nobody was worried about for State because it was brand new and they were winning and they were, getting big scoring nights from their premier names. When Darian Williams, who, by the way, didn't play last night, when he was scoring 30 and he was scoring 28, one of the things I said I kind of like about him is he feels like he has a secret. Like every time he makes a bucket, it's kind of like, told you. Right? Like I knew I was this good, and then you're going to find out. But it was never angry. It was never aggressive. It was never. And we've talked about teams taking on the image of their best players. So to now be the 28-point game he scored, which he scored 60 combined in back-to-back games. They've played like 9 games since then. To be where they are now, calling out casualness on the roster and singling out Kadir Copeland, that's what he meant when he said Q, and Ven Allen Lubin, that's what he meant when he said Ven, as guys that are bringing it. There might not be a connection there based on the observations we had made on this show of how certain players carry themselves and the things that are being called out by their coach at this point. You can connect some dots there. Secondly, the 88 mistakes in shoot-around, charting all of that, coaches have gotten, I would say, more prepared for back talk than when I played college, right? They've gotten, they used to be, film don't lie, stats don't lie. You had to wait for a game to have a stat that didn't lie. You know what? He's charting shoot-around errors. You want to talk back? Let's go. Let's hear it, right? Let's hear it. Like the opening to Coach Carter, right? With Samuel L. Jackson, when someone's like, I averaged 12 and 8. No, sir. You averaged 6 missed free throws and 9 turnovers. Those are some stats. Like, he's got it right there. First team, second team, this many misses. Offense, defense, this many mistakes. Concerning? Oh, man, that set him off, didn't it? Is part of this. Him being very obvious, and I'm not saying is right or wrong. Is part of this Will Wade telling us I was wrong? Meaning Will Wade saying Will Wade was wrong? Maybe it isn't that easy to walk in and win right away at a program like NC State, like he said in his opening presser. Just go out into the portal, pick the right guys, pick the right attitudes, have them react the same way, show up, put them together on a team, and have exactly what you're looking for and be a top team in the ACC. And now he's saying, we don't have them. Now he's saying we got good GPA guys. Which, by the way, like that one quote is going kind of viral. Right? We got good students. We got 3.0 GPA, but that's good for a daycare.
Yeah, people are taking that one out of context.
He did say he wants them to also. It's not an either or. He believes you can do both. But guess what? I'm not even going to try to explain the nuance of what he was saying. I'm going to say this. I played 4 years of college football. you're such a gosh darn smart kid was an insult from any coach that I've ever gotten, right? Because it means you're overthinking. It means you're not playing reactionary. It's not on. You want to be a good student, but that's not why coaches fall in love with you, right? They fall in love with you because of what you do on the practice field, on the game field, on the practice court, on the game court. It is a different world in sports. Not many people say it out loud to the public like Will Wade did, but trust me. You know, that's great for a daycare is a line that's been said by like offensive line coaches my entire career. Not physical, not tough, not alert, not aware. Will Wade comes from a different cut of leader. I always joke that if you read the leadership books, they tell you, like, you compliment him twice and then you can give him some constructive criticism. He leads with, like, or hear me out. I could criticize him 17 times and then cut down the things they do well as if it's some kind of, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right? He breezed through Paul McNeil breaking records going, like, that's the only way we're going to win. Hope one guy goes ballistic. Like, he's like, I could completely undercut the one good thing they did and just harp on the negative. How does that work? Last point I'll make here, and there's a whole conversation we'll have throughout the show. But Andrew Slater, NC State's GM, quote tweeted a video of the full 4-minute rant from Will Wade. And this is what Andrew Slater said. Need to continue to attract ever more competitive, hardworking, resilient, diligent, intelligent, team-oriented, tough, skilled, and athletic kids who are good representatives for the university and fan base, period. Retain those that fit, period. Year one. It might be coaching through the media. It might be recruiting through the media.
Mm-hmm.
Saying if you are a crazy and wild competitor that doesn't like to lose at video games, ping pong, tic-tac-toe, and especially not basketball, we're going to be looking. And we're only going to retain those that fit, so they don't care how much eligibility you have. If you don't fit, they're going to retain the ones that fit, and they'll figure it out. That's coming from the GM. By the way, I want to be clear on this. Will Wade took over the program this offseason. They have not gotten to ACC play yet. This is all happening 12 games into the year, and they're already speaking with this kind of force. There is no, well, we're just going to get to know each other for the first couple of months and then go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List coming up next, but first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I'm going to be like some coaches out there. I ain't going to sugarcoat it for you. The plan at Raleigh Weight Loss Center, it's direct and it's simple to follow. That's it. It's direct. It's simple to follow. If you stay disciplined on it, you're going to see results. I've been on the program for over 4 months with Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I've lost 42 pounds. But most importantly, I've maintained the weight that I've lost. That's the whole goal. Follow the plan, stick with it, follow the maintenance plan after you lose the weight, and the results will stick around. That's the point of Raleigh Weight Loss Center. It's resetting and restarting your metabolism. No shots, no surgeries, no steroids, none of the crazy side effects, no injections, just your body allowing itself to do the thing it naturally can do. You got to give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. But here's the thing, folks. I know a lot of people are ready for the new year in terms of starting that weight loss journey. Well, first of all, why wait? Go ahead and get started on it now. And second of all, save money in the process. From now all the way through tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. You can save 20% on the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. You save 20%, use the promo code LOSE IT. That expires tomorrow. So go ahead and give them a call now. 919-897-7506. Use the promo code LOSE IT or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. See if the program fits you. Talk to them in that free 15-minute phone call and sign up. Use the promo code LOSE IT. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We get to the Dean's List coming up next, including a number 1 overall pick. Stick around.
The Wrap Up the Year sales event is on at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Right now, you could get 0% financing for 60 months on a new 2026 Ram 1500. Or even better, 0% for 72 months on a new 2025 Ram 1500. Or take advantage of 20% off any new Ram 1500 in stock. See dealer for details. In other words, it is time to get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Hello, I'm Jen, and I work in the service department with Newcomb & Company in the Triangle. I've worked at Newcomb & Company for over a decade and can tell you firsthand our comfort contract is hands down the best way to stay worry-free and comfortable in your home. In fact, the program works so well, we have over 4,000 customers who use it. Folks love it because when you sign up for the comfort contract, you get the best service Newcomb offers. We prioritize contract members with same-day service, priority scheduling, and emergency after-hours calls. So there's no waiting when your system needs help. On top of that, Newcomb & Company is a proud independent Trane dealer. We back exceptional Trane products with our expert service, and we treat your home like it's our own. It's hard to stop a Trane, and it's hard to beat Newcomb & Company service. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com to learn more about our comfort contract. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
The holiday rush is on, and Soundstation and Security is here to help. With the largest inventory on the East Coast, if they don't have it, we probably do. Did you know that Soundstation and Security can install Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on your car? Plug in your phone, have your texts read to you, see your navigation screen, play your music, and more with a gift of CarPlay or Android Auto from Soundstation and Security, with 2 locations on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh and in downtown Smithfield. Online at myhotsound.com.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything! The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
4th and 6 from the 12. Gets the snap off with 2 seconds to spare. Rifles, end zone. Justin Jolie leaps up. It is a touchdown on 4th and 6, a 12-yarder. Pack's going to win the game. 20-11 with 1:47 to play.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We will get to the Dean's List as promised. Honor those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra. But first, we have 2 minutes of gold from our very own Adam Gold, all about the Canes' win last night.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for 2 more points and 2 players that really drove Carolina to a 4-1 win in Nashville last night. And it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep. All right, here we go. Carolina needed a lot from last night. They needed good goaltending against a red-hot offensive team, and they got it from Pyotr Kochetkov.
The chance, they're off the draw, rebound. Found its way to Forsberg, and what a save, Kochetkov, as he tracked the puck. Joseph's now in front of bouncing chance for O'Reilly. Kochetkov makes the save, and Carolina will sweep this one out of the zone. Here's a chance right in, and the save is made by Kochetkov as Fedor Svechkov got a chance through. Now another opportunity, this time Blankenberg, and Kochetkov the end.
Part 1 complete. Then, in spite of the fact that he has played pretty well, Sebastian hadn't really gotten going offensively this year, and that happened in the 3rd period.
Chance for again, he scores! A power play goal! The Canes, Sebastian hadn't had a point in 5 games, and this power play goal puts Carolina up 2-0. Breathing room in Music City.
Then there was the pass to Seth Jarvis for the second goal.
Jarvis with a one-timer. He scores! Oh, that was puck movement and a quick release. And Jarvis, his 19th of the year, makes it 3-0 Hurricanes.
And now the cherry on top.
Svechnikov with the intercept, trying to get it to Aho. He knows Aho, empty net, bingo! And it's 4-1 Carolina. And that's hitting a high note if you're Sebastian Aho. A 2-goal performance here tonight.
I know it was an empty net, but somebody had a 3-point night that desperately needed it. It was his first 3-point night of the season. He had 5 of those last year, and it was his first 2-goal game of the season in game 33. If Aho and Svechnikov, by the way, was great last night too. If those two guys get going on the score sheet and Kochetkov can continue to play well, Carolina's in a very good spot. Parkway Sleep, sound health, sound off for a great finish. Get it? From Sebastian Aho. Never mind.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thank you very much to Adam Gold for 2 minutes of gold, all about the Canes win last night. We don't have much time, but we do want to honor some of the Dean's List members, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Some of the important ones. NC State men's soccer, center back Nikola Markovic, selected with the number 1 overall pick by the DC United in the 2025 MLS Super Draft.
Nice. Congrats to them.
Reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Year.
Congrats.
Yeah. Maybe that'll take a little bit of the sting off of coming up 1 overtime short from a national championship. Probably not, but at least you know you're going to be playing a lot of soccer in the future. More Dean's List, Brian Parker, Chandler Rivers, Wesley Williams, some guys from Duke that have been around for, the Elko Diaz glory years and made the announcements they're going pro. Makes their availability in the bowl game probably unlikely, but still, I think Duke is, when you go to college, obviously you want to have personal accolades and everything. They've done that. I think you also just want to leave your program in a better spot than it was when you got there, and they're definitely doing that. So credit to those guys. Last one for me, Delaware Blue Hens. 1 year at FBS, 1 bowl win. It's that simple, everybody. Just every year you're in FBS, win a bowl. 2013 win over Louisiana in the 68 Ventures Bowl, 7-win season. A few stats for you that are 100% unassailable, and there's nothing you can do to argue against them. Delaware beat UConn. UConn beat Duke. Delaware's the ACC champion. That's just how that works.
Even though they lost to Wake?
No,
lost to Duke?
It's you missed the whole unassailable and you're not allowed to ask questions part.
Oh.
Also, let's just list some teams that have not won a bowl game since 2020. North Carolina Tar Heels.
Okay.
NC State Wolfpack. Miami. Auburn. Utah. Now let's list a team that has won a bowl game since 2020. Delaware Blue Hens. You can't actually argue with that one. That one's just a very specifically chosen, make stats say anything statistic.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Delaware and I'm just bragging now. Way to go, Blue Hens. Do you have any Dean's List you'd like to throw on here?
I don't.
All right, perfect. And we'll be back after this with Pat Welter, WRAL sports reporter, about a brand new documentary that debuts tonight on WRAL. Stick around.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites, like Chicken Supremes, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bobo Bow time. time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bowberry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bow-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bow time.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Spruill from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Do you want to wish me a Merry Christmas? Is that why you're here?
Merry Christmas, Adam. Glad to be here.
Anybody else? Anybody more important than me? Of course, everybody more important than me.
It's this time of the year where it's time to celebrate with friends and family. And from all of your good friends at the Aluminum Company in North Carolina, I'd like to wish everyone a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
All right, now, hopefully my roof is suitable for Santa, but if people don't have roofs that are suitable for Santa, you guys can help.
We can help them, whether it's metal, flat, rubber, shingles. We got the best warranties in the industry, and we'd love to help you out.
And Santa will land perfectly and take off perfectly from the roof. Aluminumcompany.com online. Dallas Spruill is there. Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Merry Christmas. Visit us on the web at aluminumcompany.com.
Did you know that Bailey's Fine Jewelry has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for luxury designers, fine diamonds, and watches, but we also have a huge selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. We're celebrating making holiday gifting easy since 1948. You can shop online at baileybox.com, or we invite you to visit one of our locations in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte to see why every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are excited to welcome onto the Heister Automotive Group hotline Pat Welter, WRAL sports reporter, who has been on top of the Bill Belichick experience at UNC as much as anybody, and another step in all of that reporting is tonight with the debut of Coaching Carolina the Belichick Way. Debuts tonight at 7:30 on WRAL, and then on Fox 50 Sunday, December 21st at 6:30. Pat Welter, appreciate you for joining us. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see Pat. He's joining us on video as well. I think you're probably the most suited person in the world to answer this question. What hasn't been said about Bill Belichick that we can learn in a documentary when, it's a topic that we've, on this show and obviously you've been a part of a lot of conversations we've talked a ton about already.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting because it's like this has been my life for the last year, and it's been a lot of our lives here in the Triangle. So it's cool to see it in cinematic recreation, right? Like, so in one hand, you do know parts of the story, right? But to see it kind of laid out like this, the way we go about the history of Carolina, kind of explaining why it's been such a struggle for UNC to succeed as a football program. And as far as like things that you don't know, I mean, probably the most revealing piece about the documentary about things that hasn't been reported or necessarily written about before is some of the hiring process stuff. We got, Board of Trustees Chair John Pryor at the time to sit down with us for about an hour on the record. And that's not something he had to do. And I guess only he knows if he regrets doing it now or after maybe he sees it. But we certainly appreciate the candidness, the honesty. And, he was as excited about anyone to bring Bill Belichick here. And I think right now everybody's kind of trying to reflect on if that was the right decision going forward.
Well, first of all, I'm sold because John Pryor is one of those names that in all the reports we saw pop up over and over and over again. And, I don't know if we ever got his side of the story, so it'll be fun to look for it tonight. When you look back at it, right, kind of just the timeline of it, going all the way back to the hiring process, as somebody that's been entrenched, was it did you notice the differences? I always use the example of like my kids growing, right? I see them every day, so I don't notice them growing. And then somebody who hasn't seen them in 6 months is like, oh my goodness, they're growing like weeds. Like, did you notice the differences, or are there any differences, I guess, in the way UNC's program was run back in August or during, like right after the hire, and the way it is now?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, right? Because this story is still being written. Like, I was joking that we probably need to get in production on a sequel here because year 2 is going to be just as interesting, if not more interesting, than year 1. We might not have a Terminator 2 on our hands here where I don't know if Bill Belichick's going to pull a Schwarzenegger and be the good guy in the sequel or not. We're going to find out. But, it's interesting, Tim, just because, beginning of the story, I'm as excited as anybody for Bill Belichick to come here that I necessarily think it was a good idea. I certainly had my eyebrows raised about his intentions and how the fit would go. And then, there's just like chapters to it. There's the initial buzz. Then there's the Jordan Hudson kind of theater of the bizarre that we had, in the spring. And then there's the kind of the focus on football, where they kind of got back to the messaging and things seemed like it was going to work. And then there was TCU, where it worked for one glorious drive. And then there was 4 or 5 weeks of absolute disaster, culminating in, our report coming out about the dysfunction in the locker room. And then there's kind of the aftermath of that, which is kind of what we're all parsing now. Like, how much credit do you give UNC and Bill Belichick for the turnaround that they pulled off, which is now really kind of tarnished by how poorly they performed against NC State. And now there's everything that's happening now, which is the transfer portal opening up in January, the 17th ranked recruiting class, which on one hand is great, but on the other hand, you're like, are these players ever going to really make an impact here? If they paid these players as much as was being reported, how are they going to have enough money to retain their roster and add to it in the portal, which from what I'm hearing is a fair question to ask, to the power structure within over there. And, your coordinators leaving, we've got Lombardi, taking front and center here in the offseason. So I'm making calls. I'm hearing things like kind of as we speak too, Tim, to kind of push this story forward because, like I said, it's really still being written, but really cool to see what we know so far encapsulated in 30-minute documentary form tonight.
We're talking with Pat Welter ahead of Coaching Carolina the Belichick Way, a documentary debuting on WRAL tonight at 7:30. The documentary will also receive a world digital premiere streaming exclusively on the WRAL streaming app, WRAL.com, and WRAL's YouTube channel beginning Friday. That's tomorrow. So it'll be accessible to viewers worldwide. Pat, I want to give credit where it's due. This is being produced by your colleague, WRAL documentary investigator Kristen Severance and WRAL photojournalist Dwayne Myers. But obviously, your reporting plays a key part in the documentary. Mm-hmm. A half hour to me is interesting because you got to decide what percentage goes to like, hey, they may have missed on a quarterback, and what percentage goes to, hey, the coach's girlfriend may be feuding with the coach's daughter-in-law. How do you divide it up? So knowing that Kristen and Dwayne kind of produced this, I'll phrase it to you. If somebody asks you, like, hey, tell me about the last year at UNC, and you can't talk to them for 8 hours, how much do you divide it up between the football and whatever the heck else we want to call the circus around the football?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think Kristen and Dwayne did an incredible job boiling this thing down to 30 minutes because they could have just taken what they had, and it could have been an hour, but they crunched it down and trimmed off all the fat and really jam-loaded it to get you what you need in 30 minutes, which I think people appreciate in 2025.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Not everybody has time for a 6-part documentary series. But for me, I think so much the football really is secondary, because the football was not good this year. And it was so bad that it raised the questions as to how and why. So, yeah, for me, that's really been my quest the whole time is how did the, quote, greatest NFL coach of all time performed this poorly in college. And so much of that is related to just the kind of hubris and arrogance of them implementing their NFL model, the staff that they put together, the power structure over there, and Bill Belichick's maybe unwillingness to change in certain areas. And I think that goes for Michael Lombardi as well. So I think, going forward is like, how much are they self-reflecting on that? Or how much do they think that they got it right and we're all wrong and it's just a matter of time? Because, if they do turn it around next year and they nail the transfer portal, they get a different quarterback in here, nail the offensive coordinator hire, and this team is beating Notre Dame, I will be as excited as anybody to tell that story. But as of right now, that is not the story that we have in our hands so far. This has been a spectacular disaster so far, and I don't even think 4-8 really accurately depicts how bad last season was. Like, you did not bring Bill Belichick to Chapel Hill to beat Charlotte, Richmond, Syracuse, and Stanford and get your doors blown off by NC State to end the season. I was talking to a source last night even that was talking about, like, they did not need to revamp this whole roster, revamp this whole culture. Like, all UNC needed was maybe a little bit more talent, a little bit more discipline, and a little bit more toughness. And instead, they burned the whole thing to the ground. And now we're starting again. 70 new players last year and what's looking like potentially 70 new players next year. So how are they going to be able to implement that culture in all over again when you're kind of starting from scratch? So you got me going now. I'm just riffing, but it's obviously top of mind.
No, and that's we'll end it here. Now, obviously, if you want the full story, everybody check it out. WRAL tonight, debut of coaching Carolina the Belichick way. It's at 7:30 on WRAL. But I do have to sneak in a question. You're always actively reporting. I don't know if you saw it, but Josina Anderson said today, I have the quote in front of me, NFL Insider, that she's been told recent interest has been expressed at the very least from NFL teams in speaking with Bill Belichick on an exploratory basis, per her league sources. Like, how much could this documentary, as up to date as it is, almost feel stale by next week with how quickly the Belichick, wheel turns and these reports are coming out every day?
I'm certainly glad that we're getting it out now because that's always the fear in, our medium, right? You work on these stories for so long and then God forbid it gets dated and, some things are easy to change. This is not. So yeah, I mean, I think anything's possible. I'm prepared for anything, but I think at the moment you take any reports like that with a grain of salt. Josina Anderson is an NFL reporter, obviously well-connected, well-sourced, but as she knows, and as you know and I know, whenever somebody's giving you information, it's coming with some sort of agenda. So I have to imagine that anything NFL related with Bill Belichick is maybe being floated by his camp. Not saying I know that. I'm certainly just kind of sitting back and waiting on any reports in that regard because nothing Bill Belichick showed in Chapel Hill this year should give NFL teams reason to think, oh, yeah, we should bring that guy here. Because I think his judgment was questioned at the end in the NFL, and after year one here in Chapel Hill, his judgment should certainly be questioned going forward.
Pat, we appreciate the time. Not only is this documentary coming out and you're reporting a big part of it, but also it's kind of marking a year with Belichick and the Triangle. And I know that that you worked pretty darn hard this year on all that. So congratulations on all the work and all the attention that it's drawn. You've done a great job, and we've appreciated it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's been a year. I can tell you more about it off air, how crazy this year has been, and you probably know some of the details as to why. But yeah, it's changed my life. It's been insane, and hopefully I get to get a little more sleep in 2026.
Well, enjoy the debut, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thanks, Tim. See you guys.
See ya. Once again, that is Pat Welter of WRAL. I'll give you more of the details of the documentary here, just to make sure I didn't breeze through too many of them. It's titled "Coaching Carolina the Belichick Way." It dives into the real story behind one of the most unlikely and consequential hires in college athletics, Bill Belichick as head coach of the UNC Tar Heels football program. Produced by WRAL documentary investigator Kristen Severance and WRAL photojournalist Dwayne Myers. Debuts tonight at 7:30 on WRAL. It'll also be shown in a Fox 50 debut Sunday at 6:30 p.m. and it'll be available in a worldwide digital premiere, streaming exclusively on the WRAL streaming app, WRAL.com, and WRAL's YouTube channel beginning tomorrow. That is Friday, December 19th. So the film will be accessible to viewers worldwide. Congratulations to everybody over at WRAL, our colleagues, for getting a big project like that over the finish line. Now it's just the enjoy it and watch it time. We'll be back with football at 4 here on The Drive. Don't go anywhere.
Is your whole home operating at peak performance? With Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, proudly serving our community for over 70 years. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs, including repairs and replacements for faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right, you can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. With the cold front swinging through the area, we'll see increased chance for rain starting during the evening commute today. That'll last through early Friday, a few spotty showers through mid-morning Friday, then clearing as we head throughout the rest of the day tomorrow. Temperatures will reach the upper 50s and low 60s this afternoon.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today at the closing bell down 65 points to 47,951.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Quick update on a piece of information that we kind of already passed along to you yesterday, but I'll solidify it for you. Jordan Davis, the North Texas offensive coordinator, has been announced by ECU as their new offensive coordinator. So we reported that the insiders were saying it was going to happen yesterday, but now it is set in stone. Jordan Davis, new offensive coordinator for ECU.
Officially official.
Hopefully he brings some of that North Texas passing offense, which was perhaps the best in the entire country this season. Nearly got them into the college football playoff. So we'll see. But that is officially official, just following up on something from yesterday. Now to preview something for the weekend, Dennis, you just jumped in my headset. The Panthers game for radio broadcast, different location than usual this weekend?
So it's normally on Mix 101.5, but there's an NC State basketball game. So Carolina Panthers will be right here on 99.9 The Fan this Sunday.
You can listen to it right here, and that includes the 99.9 The Fan app, I believe.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, don't quote us on that one, but definitely on 99.9 on the FM airwaves. Now we can jump into football at 4, which I can tell you wasn't necessarily fun to do what I did this morning, but I think it is insightful. We're going to talk a lot about Panthers-Bucks. We're going to talk a lot about Panthers-Bucks this week. We're going to talk a lot about Panthers-Bucks tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot about Panthers-Bucks in week 18. We're going to talk a lot about Panthers-Bucks for the playoffs. We are going to truly green eggs and ham that conversation, right? We're going to have it in a box. We're going to have the conversation with a fox. We're going to have it on a boat. We're going to have it wearing a coat. And because of that, there's a million different angles to look at it. This could be a key. That could be a key. One of my favorite sayings, and I say it here often, so you've probably heard it if you listen to the show, is the greatest indicator of future results is past results, right? If you want to look at what a team is going to do, look at what they've done. If you want to know what a player is going to do, look at what they've done. Not to say they can't get better or worse, just to say it's usually a pretty good place to start. The Carolina Panthers have to stop Mike Evans this weekend. The numbers say that the Bucs will lean heavy on Mike Evans to beat the Panthers, and it could come down as simply to, can they stop him? So I went and brought up the numbers, right? Because sometimes it happens where like a guy has one big game against a team and his reputation changes. Then you look at the numbers and it's like, actually, they do a pretty good job against him aside from that one game. Not the case. I'm going to give you a bunch of stats here. If you listen intently, I think it'll show the picture. If not, I will summarize at the end. Mike Evans has played 21 regular season games against Carolina in his career. 21. In those 21 games, he has 118 catches for 1,695 yards and 14 touchdowns. That comes out, if you break it down to per game, a little under 6 catches, 80 yards, and 2/3 of a touchdown per game. Now, if you take that per game, put it over a 17-game season, so just think of his rate would end with this as his season production in his career against the Panthers. 95.5 catches, 1,372 yards, 11.3 touchdowns. That's very good, to say the very least. But it gets worse, right? Because I'm very aware, and I think many of you are as well, that in many cases you can make stats say anything, right? You can find a number that proves your point, and you roll from there. So I thought maybe that, what about just the last 17 rather than averaging? The last 17 games he's played against the Carolina Panthers, 104 catches, 1,514 yards, 13 touchdowns. So in the last NFL season's worth of games he's played against the Carolina Panthers, he would be second highest touchdowns per game average in the history of the NFL receiving. He would have the third highest yards per game average in the history of the NFL, and he would have the 7th best career average in the history of the NFL in catches per game if you took just the games against the Panthers.
That's good, right?
That's unbelievable. He's had individual games, right? Because I was like, we all remember the 207-yard, 3-touchdown game at the end of the season a couple seasons ago. But it's not just that game. He's had a 7-catch, 162-yard, 1-touchdown game. He's had an 8-catch, 118-yard, 1-touchdown game. He's had a 7-catch, 104-yard, 1-touchdown game. He's had other games with multiple touchdowns. And here's the craziest part. Mike Evans has been around a long time. And the Panthers have not been the most stable franchise over the decade that Mike Evans has been in the NFL. He has put up these numbers while going up against Evero, the current defensive coordinator, for the 2023, 2024, 2025 season. He went up against Al Holcomb as an interim defensive coordinator of the Panthers. He went up against Phil Snow as a 3-year defensive coordinator for the Panthers. He went up against Eric Washington as a 2-year defensive coordinator for the Panthers. He went up against Steve Wilkes as the 2017 defensive coordinator for the Panthers. And every season prior to that, which started in 2014 for Mike Evans, he faced Sean McDermott as defensive coordinator for the Panthers. So there are different systems, there are different philosophies, there are different personalities, there are different head coaches, there are different defensive coaches, and he's performed pretty unbelievably against the Panthers no matter what. And then this is just guys naming dudes, but I wanted to paint the picture of how long Mike Evans has been at this.
Mm-hmm.
In Mike Evans' rookie year, I'm going to give you just a snapshot of some Carolina Panthers defensive players, okay? In Mike Evans' rookie year, 2014, Roman Harper led Carolina with 4 interceptions.
Wow.
Luke Kuechly led the NFL with 153 tackles. Charles Johnson led the Carolina Panthers in sacks and forced fumbles. Trey Boston had a pick 6 in that year. Trey Boston has finished his career, gone into media, started an ACC network show, ended the ACC network show, hosted, like these guys have lived lives since then.
Mm-hmm.
It was the year before Josh Norman became a full-time starter for the Carolina Panthers. He started 10 games. The next year, he finally started every game, all-pro, all of that. So Mike Evans has been doing this a long time against a lot of different players, and it's been successful pretty much the entire time. There was one random game where he had 10 targets, 1 catch, 16 yards. It's pretty unbelievable defense there for a guy that's getting a ton of targets. But that does show, good or bad, when they're playing the Panthers, they're going to pepper the guy with targets. So I say all of that, A, because I was hoping to find a silver lining in there somewhere. I kept looking further into the stats going like, there'll be something that they do really well against him. And outside of a few games, there really wasn't. But more so than any other game, and I've craved this for a long time watching the Panthers defense, and very occasionally they throw us a carrot of, here, take this. But more so than any other game, if healthy, and J.C. Horn was back practicing today, just to let everybody know, I think this is the game you pull J.C. Horn aside on like a Friday or a Saturday, and you just tell him, he's yours.
Do you really trust Evero to do that?
No, but more
exactly.
So more. I want it more. I've wanted it a lot. I want it more now than I've ever wanted it. I don't want. It's very obvious that Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield, by the way, as at the quarterback spot, and then everybody else off of it, they are streaky, right? Mike Evans doesn't have, many games with like 4 catches for 50 yards. Right? Because as soon as he sees the first 2 20-yarders, it's like, we're on our way to 120. Like, that's what he is. Baker Mayfield is the ultimate, like, don't let him start talking trash. Don't give him something to talk trash about, because that just starts the engine and gets him rolling. I don't want them to be able to get Mike Evans matched up on a mismatch and have it, oh, look at this. Here's another 8 catches for 118 and a touchdown for Mike Evans, especially when I don't think the Panthers' offense is built in a way where they want to get into any kind of a shootout. So J.C. Horn is the 3rd highest paid defensive back in the history of the NFL. Chris Godwin is a good player. Emeka Egbuka's calmed down, but he was unreal the first part of his rookie year. Bucky Irvin is very, very good as a multi-purpose running back. They've got a lot going for him, but the spark, even at 30-whatever years old, when healthy, is still Mike Evans. And if you tell me I can put the 3rd highest paid defensive back in the history of the NFL on their spark and try to hold that down, I don't care what your philosophy is. It's got to happen. Mike Jackson proved in the Rams game as the second corner that if pressed into duty, he's got something to him, right? J.C. Horn didn't play. They're going up against the Rams, and that's a prolific passing offense, and he made plays. If you can choose to lean on J.C. Horn and not have to put Mike Jackson in those positions, I think you go with J.C. Horn. And I mean, it's got to do something when you fire up the film machine and you're in cut-ups and you go like, sort 3rd down conversions, and you just watch it over and over and over again of Mike Evans against you in every iteration of your defense, converting, big play, touchdown, converting, jump ball, crosser, deep crosser, just every contested catch, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a fan of like conceding to anybody, but you have to acknowledge which ones you need to pay a lot more attention to.
Let's not forget, it took J.C. Horn going up to the coaching staff against the Dallas Cowboys, be like, put me on George Pickens. He's cooking us right now. And so even in game, you don't even see that from Evero. So, again, I do not trust Evero to make that decision that we all could look and say, hey, let J.C. Horn cover the top guy.
So you just hit on it. Maybe I'm thinking in reverse. That question or that conversation on Friday or Saturday shouldn't be Evero telling J.C. Horn it's on you. It should be J.C. Horn going to Evero and saying, listen, I don't care what you call.
Yeah.
I'm telling Mike Jackson, I'm following Mike Evans, and you can figure out what to do around that. Because, let's be real. Who's Evero's contract's up after this year.
Yeah, it is.
Who carries more weight in that room right now? If J.C. Horn says it's happening, this ain't a debate, maybe that's the way it needs to happen. You hear that in the NBA a lot more, like I'm guarding him. Just switch off. I got him. Maybe J.C. Horn needs to have like a Kobe Bryant moment.
Mike Evans is going to line up at the slot and going to cook in the middle of the field against that defense. Because he did it last year.
And he's done it a billion times. A billion
Because the scheme won't change.
What are the chances that J.C. Horn wears number 8 because he's a young Kobe fan? Can we appeal?
Good question.
Can we appeal to his Mamba mentality here, and go, listen, you got to demand this. You got to wave off the sideline and say this is how we're going to do it. Maybe, possibly, hopefully. I mean, J.C. Horn's over 6 foot. Mike Evans is you need to have a big corner. You need to have a corner that can run. He's one of the few unique guys that, he's not as big as Mike Evans, but he's a physical dude. It's kind of necessary. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't let Mike Evans beat you. I'm fine with striking out, but don't strike out on the guy that throws 103's fastball. You know what I mean? Make him throw a curve that's not his best pitch. Don't get beat by Mike Evans. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We look at ACC basketball teams, the ones here in the triangle, the ones you know and love. And we ask, what are we most confident and most concerned about each team? Coming up next.
We've got NFL tonight on 99.9 The Fan. Presented by WakeMed.
Showtime, prime time.
Your primetime matchup is an NFC battle. It's the LA Rams and Seattle.
Here we go. Woo!
Pre-game starts at 7:30.
Y'all know what time it is, eh?
Kickoff at 8:15.
Hey, together, baby. We just do this one play at a time.
On the Triangle's home for the NFL, 99.9 The Fan.
We came here for one thing, to win.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rates to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rates in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. People are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale. We're only 19 minutes from Clayton and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get $10,000 off a new 2026 Silverado 1500. See dealer for details. Together, let's drive.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life. your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois. CordellCordell.com.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with AutoPay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're about 20 minutes, maybe a little less, away from our next 10 days of CanesMas present delivery. So if you want a Canes prize, keep listening. We'll tell you when to call in. CanesMas, presented by Hardee's. Cozy up to the goodness of Hardee's new grilled cheese, bacon burger, and breakfast sandwich. Also, 10 Days of CanesMas presented by Surfside Vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. That's at 4:45, so you have time. It is a little sad, though. The magical hat's feeling a little lighter.
I know. There's only 2 prizes left in there.
Only 2 prizes
I
left.
can't even remember what we have left.
I think I know. I want to say, I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I know. We can talk off air. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll talk on air about some ACC basketball right now. Let's fire up cons and cons.
Defense, you need one thing above all else. That starts with a W. Confidence.
Confidence and concerns. It's a game we play. You take a team, a player, whatever. You put it into the machine. You decide what you are most confident and most concerned about for each of the items, the subjects that you put into the game. Today, we're doing ACC basketball in the Triangle. So the 3 teams from the Triangle in the ACC will each go into the cons and cons machine, and we'll decide the one thing for each team that we are most confident and most concerned about. You're allowed to be concerned about multiple things. You're allowed to be confident about multiple things, but you have to pick just one that you are most confident or most concerned about. Dennis, which team do we go to first?
Let's go the team that played last night. Let's go NC State.
All right, NC State. As always, hey, I got good news and bad news. Which do you want? I'll start with the bad news. Concerns. I'll lead off. Attitude and work ethic.
Yeah.
If your own coach is gonna air out your dirty laundry, kind of in a way, about how he doesn't think your team has edge. He thinks you're too casual. He doesn't think you're internally led by any internal leadership. If he's going to put all that out, I'm not going to argue with him. I'm going to go, you're closer to them than I am. If you're saying all of that after a 26-point win, something more than that, 108-72, do the math. That's a lot of points. You won. To put all that out there in the post-game presser, I tend to believe him. I don't think coaches say that kind of stuff if there's not at least a good portion of truth. Sometimes I think they amplify it. Like, you have bad practice, game doesn't go well. Sometimes I think they amplify how bad that practice was, trying to prove a point. But this didn't seem like I'm trying to prove a point. This seemed like some, you know what, here's 4 minutes of stream of consciousness honesty from a head coach. And he really let his team have it. So I guess I'm just agreeing with Will Wade that their attitude, work ethic, leadership, edge, alertness, awareness, toughness, kind of all is lacking through 12 games this year. Dennis, what's your concern for NC State?
Everything Will Wade said last night. I mean, that, like you said, if the coach is airing it out publicly, then yeah, that's going to be my concern for you too.
Yeah. I'll even put it this way. The fact, like, even if you think he's amplifying it to coach something, to teach something, the fact that he felt he needed to go that far to course correct, right? To change something you have going on means there's a real issue there, right? If he thought he could have fixed it with, a couple gassers after practice, I think you probably do that before you do the things he's doing to the media.
Yeah, or cut some playing time, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you bring someone off the bench that usually starts. If you think that's a loud enough message, that's probably what you do. But to kind of rail on them the way that he did tells me he thinks there's something drastic that needs to be fixed, and I'm going to be concerned with that.
I thought it was interesting how he did say that, your players take on the personality of your best players. Like, your team reflects the personality of your best players. To paraphrase right there. And he said, Kadir Copeland, Van Allen Lubin doing a good job. The fact that Darian Williams' name wasn't said, it almost felt like he was calling out Williams. Because remember, he did say a couple games ago how someone was pointing out, the NBA scout here and all that kind of stuff. Let's not forget that the NBA told Darian Williams, he told us directly this, that he needed to get in better shape in order to be ready to go to the NBA. I just trying to read the tea leaves here.
There's a lot of context clues that would make you think it might not have been just directed only at Darian Williams, but it was definitely directed at Darian Williams, right? There could have been other people that it was also meant to kind of jar, but again, just context clues, right? It's, if somebody says, like, I saw someone wearing a Nike baseball hat walking through the studio of 99.9 The Fan, about 6'4", I'd be like, you could have just said my name. You know what I mean? Like, Darian Williams, guy that thinks he's going to the NBA, we've talked to him about going to the NBA. Guy who's casual, we've talked before we knew that Will Wade was going to make the points that he's making about how he has a more casual, smirk, happy vibe on the court. Rather, like, a lot of the description seemed to fit. But he also, like I just brought up while you were talking, the seniors on the team. We'll hold out Jordan Snell. He's a walk-on holdover, but a good player and a leader, and don't just in a different category. There's Kadir Copeland. There's Van Allen Lubin. There's Darian Williams. There's Trey Holloman. There's Scotty Abube, who the coach has said he has to play more. And there's Alan Breed, who's a guy that Copeland and Breed came over with Will Wade from McNeese State. So he has a history with them. He knows those guys, and I don't think he would have brought them if he didn't know that he liked their makeup. Van Allen Lubin, he singled out as playing well. So, Holloman and Williams seem like two that maybe he was speaking to, but we're just reading tea leaves there. What are you most confident in when it comes to the NC State Wolfpack? I'll start it. Talent level. Right? Like, as the reason we were all excited about them preseason is because of the ability of the players and the production they've had at previous stops or the experience they've had at previous stops. Notice that at no point in time, and Will Wade has had two all-time rants. One was before the UNC Asheville game to Matt Chazanow, and then one was after last night's game against Texas Southern to the media. At no point in time did he say, we can't hang with these guys physically, or, we can't shoot, or we're not, the talent level has not been questioned. It's been all about the other stuff, right? The effort, the edge, the ferocity. So I'll stand on that, they've got some hoopers. They just got to get the rest of it together.
For me, I like their perimeter in terms of, I think they have a good quality array of skill set from the perimeter in the standpoint of there are a lot of guys that can play with or without the ball. Like Kadir Copeland can essentially be a point guard at times for you, but also Darian Williams can handle the ball. Trey Holloman can handle the ball for you, and those guys could also play off ball as well. So I like the fact that you have a little bit of positionless basketball in the sense with your backcourt, at least you 1 through 3 or maybe 1 through 4 at times. I like that from them, though I do fear, I guess, again, this might be a little concern that ties in with the confidence, is that do they actually have defined roles? So that maybe that's something they got to figure out going down the line. But I do love the versatility that they have with their backcourt.
And we should have mentioned Paul McNeil when he sees like the first three go in is just. I told everyone earlier. I don't know if everybody's listening. I was at Disney on Ice last night with my kids, so I watched the game tape delayed. I got the Steph Curry text about Paul McNeil. I always talk about the Steph Curry text. Anytime he hits 3 straight threes, progressively further back, you get a text from one of your buddies that's just like, "Hey, if you're watching TV, switch over to TNT. Steph's about to go nuts." I got a Paul McNeil text that was basically, "Are you seeing what Paul McNeil is doing right now? Get to the game if you aren't watching." And I was like, oh, goodness, that's a Steph Curry text for Paul McNeil Jr. And then you check the stats, and you're like, well, he had a Steph Curry game, so it makes sense that I got the Steph Curry text. He was unreal. Let's go. Which team is next there, Dennis?
Let's go with Carolina.
Carolina. Concern. For me, it's point guard.
Likewise.
It's the initiator of the offense, which is, you can fake it and smoke and mirrors it against most teams. It really is in like the 8 biggest games of the year. Are you going to have a point guard ready to play championship caliber basketball? Is it Kyan Evans? If it's not, is it Derek Dixon? If it's not, are you asking Seth Trimble to play a bit out of position? If it's not, are you asking Luka Bogovic to be a giant-sized point guard? If it's not, what else do you have there? And part of this is by default. I'm very confident in a lot of the other parts of their roster, which puts a maybe undue spotlight on their point guard position. Because, the 5, that's Henry Vasar. Not worried based on the way he's played through the first however many games it's been. The 4, Caleb Wilson. The 3, probably Bogovic. The 2, Seth Trimble when healthy. 4-year player. We know what he is. The 1 is the one there it is. I mean, there's the question. That's my concern almost by default. And they have a lot of time to figure it out, but I'm concerned.
Again, same thing regarding your concern. I think more specifically for me, the concern is that maybe this is a Seth Trimble role when he does come back, but when it's time to get everyone under control and just kind of breathe, who's that person that does it, that can actually control the offense and be like, hey guys, let's focus, let's settle down in the middle of, there might be chaos of up and down the floor. You don't want to burn a timeout yet because there's 3 minutes left, whatever it might be. Hey, guys, let's breathe here real quick. Let's run an offensive set, whatever it is that the coach is calling. Who's going to be the one that keeps everyone calm?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to, like, the emotional calm, I think, is going to have to be Seth Trimble if he's out there.
That's my guess.
But I don't think Seth Trimble's game is best suited to 1-4 high. Let's make sure, hey, the big guy hasn't got a touch. Let's make sure he's more seeking out big plays because he's a wildly explosive athlete. When healthy, and that's all kind of dependent on Seth Trimble getting healthy. We don't know all the timelines there. Confidence for UNC. I'll lead off again. It's Caleb Wilson, but more specifically, I need to know exactly how many games they're in. It's 12 games, whatever it's been. 11 games that they've played. He's been consistent. Like, when you have an athlete like Caleb Wilson, you know they're going to have big games. And I was very high on him coming into the year. But to see him darn near every game, like, the floor is what's impressed me about Caleb Wilson. And you pair that with some of the other players they have, it's such a good foundation, right? Because, we talk about when you what are they ranked? 12th in the country now? When you're talking about top 12, top 10 team, you're talking about those big games, and I don't see anybody slowing him down the way he's playing. Now, he might not get 25 and 12 in every big game, but I'd be surprised if you don't get 15 and 8 from Caleb Wilson in darn near every big game this year, at least. What's your confidence?
Confidence for me is that how do other teams try and defend their low post against Carolina? How do you defend Caleb Wilson? Because you probably have to put your most athletic guy on him. Your most athletic guy might only be 6'6", 6'7".
I was going to say, your most athletic guy between 6'6" and 6'11".
If you have someone athletic enough to keep up with him. But then also at the same time, have someone that can keep up with Vasar at the exact same time. Good luck. Good luck defending that. And I'm still waiting to see Jaren Stevenson I love the idea what Jaron Stevenson can be for Carolina. At 6'11", a guy who potentially can stretch the floor, but I would like to see more assertiveness from him, especially when it comes to rebounding. Like, dude, you're 6'10", 6'11". Just effort and positioning alone should get you 7 rebounds a night. But again, try and defend Wilson and Vasar at the same time. Good luck.
It is crazy you could have those 3 on the floor at the same time and at least in theory not crowd each other. Because they can all do things on the perimeter and all have varied skill sets. Their front court is something.
Vasar, one hell of a pickup in the transfer portal. My goodness.
Well, wildly pleasantly surprised. And it keeps confirming our aura talk from ACC tip-off. When somebody surprisingly just commands the room, they almost always go over the top as far as, becoming a dude. Let's go ahead and jump to Duke, the final team in our ACC basketball cons and cons. Concern, consistent shooting around Cam Boozer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they don't have shooters. It's that I'm not sure it's going to be there consistently enough. They have shooters that I think will, like Isaiah Evans is obviously the name that everybody pops into your brain. Like, I think he'll shoot a good percentage, but I think he shoots a good percentage making like 10 of 11 and then missing 8 in a row. You know what I mean? It's not always, every shot's not a 40% shot. It's some, and you experience this if you watch Duke, if you've been to Duke games, if you've seen them in person. There are shots Isaiah Evans takes from a step beyond the three-point line that as he's gathering, it's like 93% of the time it's going in. And you just know it's a long layup. And then there are times where he misses 2 in a row and he's gathering and you're like, this might be a 12% shot here. I think they need a couple guys. They don't have to be 40, but like a couple 37s that they're always 37%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just spacers. And we haven't quite seen that from some of the other guys, Hemania, Dame Sar, whoever it's been that's going to be dependent on.
Yeah, that was my concern. I think it was last time we did this. That was my concern, was consistent outside shooting. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. My concern is Cam Boozer in the sense of, are they relying on him too much? Because he leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists as a freshman. At some point, he'll hit a lull. Like, he'll have a couple of games that
he's had a couple bad halves.
Yeah.
He's just come out on the other side and played great second halves to make us forget immediately.
What if that turns into 2 halves?
Or
like back to back?
Or if the second half is the bad one.
Exactly.
And he doesn't have the third half to go make it up.
Are you too reliant on one guy? Because last year they had Cooper Flagg was obviously the engine. But if Cooper Flagg was off, you could go to Proctor or Knipple or to someone else, or Isaiah Evans off the bench potentially, and someone else could carry the offense for that day. I don't know if they have that. I don't know.
That's going to make my confidence fairly funny.
What's that?
Cam Boozer?
That's my confidence too. It's a weird thing, but it's true.
Yeah. No, it is. I'll use a stat to tell it. Shout out to OptaStats. They drew my attention to it. Cameron Boozer is the only Division I basketball player in the last 30 seasons to have at least 250 points, 100 rebounds, 40 assists through his first 11 career games. The only one.
That's good, right?
That's very good.
Yeah, the only one that's done it.
Except our concern was kind of like they're asking him to do, they're depending on him to do too much. So the fact that he's the only player with that kind of usage and that kind of production in 30 years at least, maybe that proves some of our point, but it's the fact that he can draws a lot of confidence from me. I'm already seeing Hornets fans going like, he fits in pretty perfectly to what we're trying to do here in Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
250 points, 100 rebounds, 40 assists. Took him 11 games.
He's good.
Is that
that's my confidence, yes.
All right, cool. Let's move on from cons and cons. Because I'm going to translate very quickly here on 99.9 The Fan.
Okay.
What Sebastian Aho's performance in last night's game against Nashville was saying to so many of the people that follow and track every move that a Carolina Hurricane makes.
Okay.
How you like me now? That's what he was saying with the performance and the 2 goals and the assist and the full game and the 4-1 leadership, get the team in the right place to start a road trip. If you talk to him, he'll say all the right things. But what his performance said was, "How you like them apples?" Aho scored 2, assisted on Jarvie's goal, broke a 5-game pointless streak in a big way. And it returns to what we were saying. It was Monday or Tuesday, I forget when. He is never going to be your utopic idea of what you want a superstar to be, right? He's not going to ever play as somebody who puts individual production anywhere near the top of his priority list. But he will still be good enough and complete enough of a player that the individual production is going to find him occasionally, and he's going to have nights like last night. And I think it's part of the reason why you love him. Like, I think it's part of the reason why he can be a culture setter for the Carolina Hurricanes. If he goes 5 games pointless and shows up the next day working as hard, shows up the next day as committed, shows up the next day as bought in, how can anyone else on that roster complain about not getting an opportunity or having to do some dirty work or having to be a glue guy or having to board battle or having to be physical when your dude is doing it? Now, here's, to get ahead of a conversation. So yesterday, actually before he scored the final goal, right, when it was a goal and an assist, but a well-played game, and it was an Aho game, I tweeted out, like, how's that for ending a 5-game pointless streak? Are y'all happy now? That was my tweet. That was my big, ha-ha, there you go. And I was surprised at how quickly and how emphatically the response was, yeah, I guess I'm happy for tonight, but I'm not satisfied. Yeah, maybe that's a good start, but he needs to do it every game. I don't like, and I don't even think I really have a leg to stand on here. I played FCS football, okay? I don't like pulling the, have you ever been a player card? But even if you played like high school and took it seriously, I think you'll have an answer to this question. I don't think you have to have played at any crazy level. Playing well and winning a game is hard.
Yeah.
Celebrate every win, right? And there will be, after you get through the happiness, there will be times where you can, learn and nitpick and talk about, okay, now you got to do it every game and now you got to be consistent. But the Nashville game last night, whether you're looking at Aho individually or the team as a whole, it was a good night. And if you immediately, before the game is even over, he still scored a goal after many of those people said, well, I'm not satisfied at all. If you immediately go to now I'm sour that he doesn't do it every game, after you were sour that he hadn't scored in 5 games, and you were probably sour before that his face-offs have not been won at a high enough rate, and you were sour before that he wasn't vibing with Ehlers on the first line, and you were sour. When the good happens, if you don't enjoy it, I don't get it. Now, I know every fan can be as fanatical as they want, and I can't tell you how to feel, how to live. I can't make your emotions go in any direction. But if you watched last night's game and came out sour and long-faced and mad about something, man, it's going to be a long season for you. Because that was the good stuff. That was a good performance from one of your best players, and there were stats to back it up, because Aho has good performances sometimes where the stats don't back it up, where he's the best player on the ice for most of the game, and he walks away with a 0 ±, no points, and it's like, geez, that's just, the end didn't justify how well he played. But when he plays a good game, Piotr's good in net, Slavin plays. He and Nikishin look great. Ehlers looks really good as a speed guy, bringing it into the offensive zone. Jarvie scores. The special teams were good. And you walk out of that, do it every night, and maybe we'll be happy. I got nothing for you. I don't know if you take the full 24-hour celebration rule that everybody always talks about. You may not have to do that as a fan. Take the 20-minute celebration rule. Right? And once that thing goes 000s, give yourself 20 minutes of just, all right, we got one, and be happy. Or else, it's just a losing effort for guys like Sebastian Aho. If he has to have a 3-point night every night sustainably just to make y'all not mad, that's a pushing a rock up a hill that never ends. It's just going to keep rolling back on him.
Yeah, that'd be make like McDavid look like a fourth-line center. Let's be honest.
And by the way,
Gretzky couldn't even do that.
By the way, like, I am a massive Sebastian Aho supporter. He's not Connor McDavid. Like, if your expectations are that he's matching Connor McDavid point for point, or he's matching Austin Matthews goal for goal, like, he's different than that, and he's not that. And if your expectations are there, you're probably going to be disappointed. After last night's game, just be happy, man. There will be a lot of losses that we can get mad about. Getting mad at the wins or too quickly after the wins doesn't make sense to me.
Especially when it's game like 32.
Game 32 on the road. You're at 5 straight wins?
Yeah.
5, like your 5th straight win. I'm mad they're not doing it sustainably. They, as a team, they are.
I'm sorry, I got the best record in the Eastern Conference.
I just don't want you all set up for some kind of disappointment. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like you're setting yourself up for unreal expectations. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As a peace offering, how about we give you a CanesMas gift? The Canes won 4-1 against Nashville, and you can win day number 9 of the 10 days of CanesMas, presented by Surfside Vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. Also presented by Hardee's. Get the Hardee's app and join My Rewards right now and get hand-breaded chicken tenders BOGO every Tuesday through June 2026. Caller number 10 will have to answer a very quick, very easy Canes trivia question. And if they do that, they will get themselves a CanesMas gift from us. I have the magic hat with the slips of paper with the presents written on them right here. So call in now, 919-860-5326, 919-860-5326. Merry CanesMas to you all. We give a gift next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
When the Eagles' offense looks wrong is when they're right. Every complaint was correct based on the way the offense looked. But that's how they win. When they looked wrong, they were right. Now, when they're trying to look right, they go wrong. Every time the offense looks bad, previously, is when they have actually won games.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, this is your last week, your last chance to sign up for the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center to save 20%. Contact them now, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and use the promo code LOSEIT when you sign up. That way you can save 20%. That deal runs out on Friday, December 19th, so take advantage of it right now. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. Figure out if the program is the right thing for you. Bring any questions and health concerns that you might have, and decide if you want to go forward with the program. I've lost over 40 pounds, 42 pounds to be exact, with the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've done that in 4 months. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or 919-897-7506. Use the promo code LOSEIT to save 20%. Results may vary.
Looking for a like-new ride without the new car price? Head to Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford and check out our Car Bravo certified used cars. We've got all makes and models, each Car Bravo certified for quality and backed by warranty. Plus, now through January 2nd, you could finance for just 6.99% for 72 months. Don't miss your chance to save big on a certified car, truck, or SUV you can trust. Stop by Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC today in Sanford, or shop online anytime at wilkinsoncars.com.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. it's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
Merry CanesMas, everybody. Day 9 of the 10 days of CanesMas, presented by Hardee's. Cozy up to the goodness of Hardee's new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich, as well as Surfside vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. It is time to give somebody a CanesMas gift. I hope it is Liam and Carrie. He is on the line now. Liam, Merry CanesMas to you.
Merry CanesMas to you.
All you have to do in order to receive your CanesMas gift, your CanesMas present, is answer this Canes trivia question correctly. And I want to emphasize, we're not trying to trick you, so don't think it's so easy that it's too good to be true. Are you ready, Liam?
Yes, I am.
Can you name a current Carolina Hurricane?
Sebastian.
There you go. I have to admit, your pause made me think I should get a little worried, but then you came through with Sebastian Aho. So congratulations, you are today's 9th day of the 10 days of CanesMas gift recipient. There's only 2 slips left in my magical red hat. I'm shaking it up. If you're watching on YouTube, you can clarify that I'm not looking. There's no funny business. I have the slip of paper. Liam, are you ready to hear your CanesMas present?
Yes, I am.
A leather Canes wallet coming your way.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, how
Really?
cool is that? There you go.
I was rooting for the wallet.
You were rooting for the wallet? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right. Well, your wish is my command. CanesMas present, day number 9, goes to Liam, and he gets a Canes leather wallet. Liam, congratulations. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your present. All right. Merry CanesMas to you, and Merry CanesMas to all. It is funny. We have to ask these questions to start. Name a current Carolina Hurricane. And when there is just a brief pause, I think of, like in that those, I don't know, how many seconds are those pauses? Like 1.5 seconds. But for some reason, I have 10 minutes of thoughts come streaming through my brain. And one of them is, do you remember during, what is it called? Regis Philbin, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Every once in a while, somebody would get like the $100 question wrong. It would be like, Mary had a little blank. Fox, bear, lunchbox, lamb, and someone would be like, she had a bear. Final answer. And they knew the answer. They froze. I always think that's going to happen. So we haven't had one yet this year. I don't believe we've had a freeze where they've actually gotten the simple trivia question wrong in any 10 days of CanesMas. But that could be the ultimate announcer's jinx for our last day of CanesMas, which will be tomorrow. There's only one present left in the magical red hat, and it will go to our CanesMas gift recipient tomorrow about the same time, about 4:45. And once again, thank you to our presenting sponsors, Surfside Vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. Also presented by Hardee's. Get the Hardee's app and join My Rewards right now and get hand-breaded chicken tenders BOGO every Tuesday through June 2026. I'm going to pivot here because I wanted to talk about this earlier.
Okay.
And we didn't have time, and I want to make sure we have time for it. Yesterday, we talked a bit going into the Canes game because we knew from practice lines or practice pairings, it looked like Alexander Nikishin and Jacob Slavin were going to be skating together.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an interesting pairing for me going into the game because I continue to be, fascinated by how the Carolina Hurricanes develop Alexander Nikishin because, we all know, and we talked about it, he has this like mythic quality to him amongst Canes fans for how good he can be. And some would say how good he should be by the time his development is done and reaches his prime. So I'm fascinated by how the Canes plan on and how they will help him reach those heights, hopefully. And I thought putting him next to Slavin, even if it's not permanent, anytime you're on the ice skating with Slavin is a good time to learn, and he can correct some things, and his communications and everything will help. Turns out they just might be really good skating together, and it doesn't have to be about development. It could just be they're just really good right now. If you look at some of the advanced analytics, the on-ice stuff, the who had the best game bar graphs, and everything that are passed around Canes Twitter immediately after games, Nikishin and Slavin skated like old buddies that knew each other's games inside and out, and played exceptionally well. I don't know. I talked yesterday about how we're now to the point where I don't think you're experimenting for fun. You're experimenting looking for things that you could use in a big game. Hey, if so-and-so happens, if this goes down, if so-and-so's in the box, can these two guys work together? I don't even know if you have to be in a pinch. I don't know if it has to be like the third or fourth option. It might be one of their change-ups or curveballs. If you put Slavin and Nikishin together, you get one of, if not the most fundamentally sound defensemen in the NHL, and you get one of the most physically gifted defensemen in the NHL on the ice at the same time, which is a unique yin and yang where they kind of fit together. And at least for one night, it was really fun to watch. There were more than a few defensive plays where you just go like, who was what? Oh, it's them again. And not to say Miller didn't make a bunch of good plays also, and I'm a Chatfield fan. Like, other guys did their thing, but those two, maybe that wasn't just a day where Slavin's going to help Nikishin in shortened minutes, right? Because Slavin was on kind of the injury minutes restriction. Maybe it wasn't just a day where you could do some teaching. Maybe it was a day where those two might have developed something that you can use in a big moment if you need to change up. Like, I'll put it this way to you, Dennis. Were they good enough that it was pleasant to see for a day? Or were they good enough that if we need a shakeup down the stretch, not permanently, but we can go to that as something to spark a blue line?
I think it's something that you can go to because I know we talked about it yesterday. I said that allowing Nikishin and Slavin to play together right now with Slavin's minutes restriction will allow Nikishin to be able to jump up into play and be a little bit more reactive because he knows he got 74 is going to cover me. And sure enough, that first goal that they scored, it was him being active in the offensive end. Like, hey, I'm going to jump up here and be active, gets up in the play, moves the puck around a little bit. All of a sudden, puck's in the back of the net. And he was involved in that sense. I don't hate the way the pairs are structured right now. I think it will eventually get shuffled. I think it will. But as of right now, like, you can kind of roll with this and you can slowly increase Slavin's minutes and slowly increase Nikishin's minutes alongside him.
For different reasons, but same pace.
I mean, in an ideal world, if you have all six of your defensemen playing roughly equal, around 20-ish minutes a night, that just bodes well for your team in the long run.
Yeah, I was having this thought, right? We know that Alexander Nikishin, he's been benched for taking chances maybe at the wrong times or being too aggressive. There's kind of two ways to handle that. One is you coach it out of him, right? You get him to make better decisions or make less risky decisions. The other would be to put him in situations where his risky decisions don't burn you as badly, right? I'm thinking of like you can either take a volume basketball shooter who shoots too much and say, I need you to stop shooting, I need you to pass, or you could surround him with rebounders and go, hey, guess what? All those missed shots are kind of passes down low. If you take Nikishin and you coach out of him the riskiness, that's part of it, but you're going to miss out on some of the special. If you put him out there with Slavin, the riskiness isn't as risky because you have Slavin covering for you. As long as you're hustling back and everybody's doing what you should do once a mistake is made, it's just another option. That's all I'm putting out there. And it was really fun to see two guys that are very different in so many ways come together to play some really good hockey. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, which, by the way, is how some of the best defensive pairings in history work. Like, it's not always carbon copies next to each other. A lot of times it is varied skill sets that kind of fit together like puzzle pieces. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting five coming up. But first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to pass along to you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. The best financial move you can make this time of year? Well, how about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it all now by giving Loan Pronto a call. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash. You can pay off all those high-interest credit cards and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans and saved $2,100 a month. Don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out all higher interest debt and lowering your bills by thousands. Call 919-381-1760 and see how much cash you can get today. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The starting five up next here on The Drive. Don't go anywhere.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Hey, it's Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan for the Butcher's Market. And the holidays are here, and if you're looking for the perfect gift, I've got you covered. A membership to the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. You'll get a different hand-cut steak every month for 6 months. Some serious holiday sizzle. And there's more to celebrate. The Butcher's Market was just awarded the North Carolina Small Business Retailer of the Year. With 5 Triangle locations, it's easy to shop local this season. Visit thebutchersmarkets.com. That's thebutchersmarkets.com.
Hey, it's Meredith at Anfisa Jewelers in Garner, and it's time to start updating those wish lists because Christmas is right around the corner. But don't worry, we have you covered. Our store is fully stocked with beautiful and unique pieces anyone surely would love. And if you're thinking of popping the big question this Christmas, we have handpicked the most brilliant diamonds. Plus, all of our diamonds have the low price guarantee, so there's no risk or stress. And that's why we have been voted the Triangle's ultimate bridal destination. So come in and see us today. We are located right off of Highway 70 in Garner and Anfisa'sJewelers.com.
You know how to tell that you've picked a great gift? When you love to get it yourself. Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here with a great idea. Give Buffalo Brothers gift cards. Whenever I'm back in the Triangle, I make a beeline for Buffalo Brothers to get my wing fix, and it's my go-to spot for gifts and stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby! Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. Pretty mild out there with temperatures near 60 this afternoon. Rain arrives this evening and will continue overnight tonight. It will be breezy at times as well. The rain rolls out of here early Friday morning. It's breezy Friday with temperatures near 60.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check if your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, up 65 points to 47,951. Market update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at your holiday events to lift your spirits this season. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five. And as always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is very, very sad, tragic news that trickled out earlier today, but it does appear as if kind of the worst fears have been confirmed based on those early reports. I'll read directly from a WRAL report on WRAL.com. A business jet with the family of NASCAR great Greg Biffle on board crashed earlier today at a regional airport in Iredell County,
Statesville,
erupting in a large fire and killing 7 people. First Sergeant Chris Knox of the North Carolina State Highway Patrol said that Biffle and his immediate family were believed to be on board the plane, which is registered to his company, GB Aviation Leasing. The fire damage at the scene of the crash prevents positive identification of the people on the plane, according to Knox. Obviously, an unbelievably sad situation, a complete tragedy, and there's no easy way to put any kind of context on it. People lost their lives, family members, community members. The Biffles as a family lost an entirely too much. Right? It's nothing you want anyone to have to deal with. And I'll put it this way, because I think it's actually a really, a positive way to remember a NASCAR great like Greg Biffle, and a guy with a ton of roots and connections to North Carolina, the state of, and the unbelievably rich racing history in North Carolina. I'm not a big NASCAR fan. Greg Biffle's one of those guys whose names, pops up in casual conversation if you are just around the sports world, whether you're a NASCAR fan or not. But I think it's really, really cool, right? He is a guy that his glory days in the NASCAR circuit have come and gone. But over the last handful of years, when you heard of Greg Biffle's name or the aviation company that dealt with the tragedy today, it was usually because he was just being an awesome human. Right? Like the things that came across my purview were when Western Carolina was dealing with the natural disasters and the flooding and everything they were dealing with, he was jumping in his own helicopters and his own aviation vehicles and moving supplies and just how can I help out? And I have more resources because of the success I've had. How can I pass things along? And did so without any expectation of praise or thanks, just did so because it was the right thing to do. And those are the type of things that, he actually popped up in the news for more often recently, in addition to being like a truly great NASCAR driver with a legendary history on the track. So, the tragedy is unspeakable. Again, the videos of the explosion and the fires and everything going on the that you can find on the internet are harrowing, to say the very least. And we pass along all of our support as much as we possibly can from everyone here at 99.9 The Fan and everybody across the sports world to the Biffles in their community.
And like you said, he was so vital, just as one of the big pieces of people. Just when Helene hit in the western part of the state, just how can I help? He after his post racing career was just so dedicated to humanitarian work. Which is just I think this is a great thing, the fact that he has that platform and he used his ability to do that. It really is a sad thing to see.
Unbelievably sad. Gosh, I feel like we're dealing with more serious stuff more often. But you hope that these just happen less and less, and maybe you can avoid them all entirely. But there is no easy transition out of a story like this. So we'll just say again, support, thoughts and prayers, all of the things that you can possibly do, and more information will come out, and I'm sure there will be, in Biffle's honor, I'm sure there will be something to donate to or some way to pass along, positive works, because that's the way he would have wanted. So search for that in all of the reporting. But we will, as a sports show, and as he was in the sports world, we'll transition to sports. But just please know that we are very aware that is the most serious topic that we will discuss today, and again, passing along support. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
The Carolina Panthers practice today ahead of, how many times have we said this? The biggest game that the Carolina Panthers have played in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
It's happened like 4 or 5 times this year already, with mixed results on how they play. But this weekend's game against the Bucs, the biggest game they've played in years. Massive playoff implications. So the practice availability, obviously something we're tracking. Dennis, what's the latest for guys like Tetairoa McMillan, J.C. Horn, and some very important players?
So Tetairoa McMillan, who missed yesterday's practice, foot/ankle injury that he's been dealing with, full participant in practice today, which I think is a very, very good sign. J.C. Horn had just a little bit of a rest day, so he was limited at practice yesterday. Full go in practice today as well. Trevin Wallace, still dealing with a shoulder injury, was actually more limited today. He was a full go yesterday, but was limited today, still dealing with that shoulder issue. Taylor Moton, limited participant in practice as well. A couple names to keep an eye on, though. Tershawn Wharton, who missed Sunday's game after a Saturday walkthrough, tweaked a hamstring after he tripped over a teammate. Really weird situation. But he did not practice today. Also, Ike Ekwonu, starting left tackle, dealing with a knee injury, did not practice again today. That is probably the biggest one to keep an eye on, is Ike Ekwonu, who admitted or stated that the injury that he sustained happened in the early part of the game against the Saints, but played through it. We'll see if he's going to be available for this Sunday. My gut is telling me don't expect to see Ike Ekwonu on Sunday. This is my gut is telling me.
My gut is telling me if he gives the thumbs up 48 seconds before opening kick, good, get on out there.
Yeah.
He's that important. I looked it up earlier today. Ike Ekwonu, because Bryce Young missed a game, Ike Ekwonu has played the highest percentage of snaps of any offensive player on the Carolina Panthers. He has played in just a hair under 93% of the offensive snaps that the Panthers have played this year. Left tackle is an important position, right? And I would assume we would get maybe a Yosh Nijman game if Ike can't go.
So yeah, Nijman did practice with the first team in terms of reps, was Yosh Nijman, who actually did start for Ike Ekwonu. I think it was the first game of the season when he had the appendectomy, did Ekwonu at the beginning of the year. So it'd probably be Yosh Nijman, the one that starts there.
Yosh Nijman is, I think, a pretty solid backup tackle. Backup being the emphasis, like a pretty solid backup tackle. And I know Ike hasn't always been the best in the world, but I think you desperately want the guy that's played 93% of your snaps out there in what is the biggest game your team will have played in years. If you want a fun fact for the Carolina Panthers, Dennis, I'm going to pass this along to you. I don't know if you're aware.
All right, go on.
This time of year, as a potential dabbler in the sports gambling world and a fantasy diehard, I start paying attention to incentives. I start seeing which players have a large amount of money coming their way if they get 10 more catches, right? Because then you might bet on those players to get 10 more catches. Rico Dowdle is 113 total yards away from $1 million in incentives.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Rico Dowdle is 113 total yards, so rushing plus receiving.
Okay.
Away from an incentive that would give him $1 million.
Oh, he can have that by the end of this Sunday.
If you look at the numbers, Tampa is pretty good at stopping the run between the tackles. But they allow, you ready for this?
All right.
The most receiving yards to running backs in the entire league. If I knew I needed 113 total yards to get $1 million, and if my team knew that, I would hope they would, take care of me a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't want to wait till the last game for that sort of thing.
No.
You want to check it off. So if you're solidified for the postseason, you want to rest starters and things like that, you can. $1 million?
Bryce.
$1 million.
I'm going to Bryce. Hey, man, hit me with them checkdowns.
I'll give you $50,000 to check it down to me 4 times this week.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, if I get 113 by the end of the day, I'll give you $50,000.
Like literally,
Yeah.
just cash, homie. Now, obviously, he doesn't have to get it this game, but I would be surprised if Rico doesn't do something in the total yardage category. $1 million. And he's what, 9th in the league in rushing?
Something like that.
When he signed that, $3.5 million 1-year deal, they were like, yeah, sure, give him the 1,300 yard total yard $1 million incentive. Sure. Because that's how much it has to be. He has to be up there in total yards well over 1,000. Sure, go ahead. Make it $6 million for 2,000 total yards. They're just giving stuff away at the end. If that gets the negotiation done, sure. Now he's staring $1 million in the face. Let's get this thing done.
For real.
That's
by the way, Sunday's game at 1 o'clock, you can listen to it on 99.9 The Fan. Normally it's mixed 101.5, our sister station, but they have NC State basketball Sunday. So Panthers will be on The Fan here on Sunday.
There you go. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
McCall 7 of 12, 120, a touchdown, an interception, and around the corner goes Hollywood Smothers. 10-5, first and goal, Wolfpack.
NC State football bowl game, Gasparilla Bowl. Tomorrow, 2:30 in the afternoon. So it'll be going on during our show. They're taking on Memphis. If you're looking for the story of the game, guess what it was going to be? I had this all written out in my notes. I was ready to go. It was going to be the mostly complete and whole and stable NC State Wolfpack against a Memphis Tigers team in transition. They're going to have an interim coach. Their coach has already taken the job at Arkansas. Their next coach has come over from Southern Miss, Charles Huff, but he's not going to be coaching the bowl game. They're going to have the interim. They've had a handful of guys in the portal. They're all in. Meanwhile, it appeared up until this afternoon, State was mostly stable. But then the news comes out. Hollywood Smothers, their star running back, according to his agent, who has talked to On3, he's talked to CBS Sports, talked to a whole bunch of outlets. Hollywood Smothers entering the transfer portal while also exploring the NFL draft options. Hollywood Smothers is really good, okay? And you start there. Losing good players is not ideal. Okay? We talked about this with the AP All-American team. The ACC had 1 player on the first-team AP All-Americans. 4 players on the first-team AP All-American list played in the ACC last year, right? You have to keep your good players. However, if you're looking for reasonings, Duke Scott, a freshman this past year, or this year, that's kind of, the bowl game is going to be the final, running back for NC State, played very well in the opportunities given when Hollywood Smothers wasn't 100% or when he was in there giving a breather to Hollywood Smothers. So perhaps it was a business decision from NC State saying, for, say, I'm just making up numbers, for 50% of the money it would take us to keep Hollywood Smothers and rev share and NIL, we can get 85% of the production that Hollywood Smothers would give us from Jaden Duke Scott, and maybe more, right, if he develops. He's a bigger back. He's at one time, sprinting star in high school at the highest levels of Georgia high school, which is pretty fast. So maybe this truly was a business decision on both ends. And then lastly, when I hear that somebody is going in the portal and exploring the NFL draft, I think that's tough on a team that doesn't have endless NIL money. Because it's like, oh, you want us to set aside this NIL cash and not use it to help our roster? Meanwhile, you might go pro, and then we just missed out on all these other options because we were saving the money for you. So sometimes it's like, hey, listen, we want you back. Here's our offer. It's there. If you need time to think it over, that offer may come down a little bit because we need to have running backs and we need to know what we can plan around whether you're back or not if you're considering these other things. So, it's the business. The more and more professional college sports get, the more and more of this you're going to see. And then from the other side, congrats on Hollywood Smothers. He's going to, whether he goes to the NFL or hits the portal and truly tests the open market, he's a really good player, and really good players get paid. If he goes to an offense that utilizes his skill correctly, he'll light it up next year, just like he was lighting it up until he got hurt this year for NC State.
Real quick.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm curious regarding the transfer with Smothers and all that, just the timing of it. Was he still practicing with the team? Did we know that if he was practicing up to this point with the team? Like, did he travel, or is it the word, or is it just the word of this and now just officially getting out? I'm just curious on that because I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
I assume if he wasn't practicing, that wouldn't have stayed private. Like that's something that other agents would want known. Like it becomes very NFL like that way. If I had to guess, and this is, we're doing some connecting of the dots here. If I had to guess, there's some negotiations going on, and if the agreement maybe would have come to stay, if that would have been his decision for what's best for him and the team decided that's what's best for them, likely would have played. But if you're going to be on the open market, you don't want to be on the open market hurt. So then you do have to protect your investment a little bit, and you're gonna hang back. Gosh, that felt so callous and business and like.
I know.
Well, the merger got down to the 2-yard line, but the two sides couldn't agree, so now they're gonna have to take it to escrow, and I don't even know what I'm saying. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us. Costa Spare will keep it in. 45 seconds left. Chance for Aho again. He scores! A power play goal! The Canes, Sebastian Aho, hadn't had a point in 5 games.
Just quickly on how that previous one ended. I don't know why my business impression always goes to like Thurston Howell from Gilligan's Island. Like every time I imagine people in a boardroom, it's like, oh, goodness, Ginger. Moving on. Canes beat Nashville 4-1 last night on the road. Start of a little road trip here. Dennis, I want to talk goalies. We haven't passed enough praise to Pyotr Kochetkov for the way he played last night.
He was great last night.
The battle that I believe it takes place every time we watch Pyotr Kochetkov play goalie is he has an inherent desire to spice it up. And usually, whether it's a great Pyotr Kochetkov game or a mediocre or a bad Pyotr Kochetkov game, comes down to, in those 3 or 4 panic moments, can he handle it? And he got caught behind the net once yesterday, scrambled, got in position, turned away the threat. He tried to score a goal late on the empty netter, tried to flick it up there. Like he's mischievous, I guess might be the way I would describe it. And as long as he escapes those few situations, he's really good. I have a stat in front of me that I'd like to bring up to you. And it's not, expected goals against and this situation. It's the most simple stat maybe in the history of the world. Pyotr Kochetkov and Brandon Bussey are a combined 17-2 on the season.
Damn.
17-2. Now, obviously, a bulk of that is 11-1 for Brandon Bussey.
Sure.
But 6-1 for Pyotr Kochetkov ain't nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's not.
Can you make plans now for Freddie to be the odd man out?
Yeah.
Or is it? Here's the question for me. Are you making plans for Freddie to be the odd man out, or are you making like almost contingency plans for Freddie to be the odd man out on some? If this continues, then we could start entertaining the thought of what you might do with Freddie near a trade deadline, or what you might do with Freddie how do you keep him fresh while also acknowledging these are your two guys? Like, are we there yet, or are we just getting closer? That's a question that I have for, the immediate and also, intermediate future for the Carolina Hurricanes. For the immediate past to the Carolina Hurricanes, meaning a reaction to the 4-1 win over Nashville last night, we have 2 minutes of gold with our very own Adam Gold.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for 2 more points and 2 players that really drove Carolina to a 4-1 win in Nashville last night. And it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep. All right, here we go. Carolina needed a lot from last night. They needed good goaltending against a red-hot offensive team, and they got it from Pyotr Kochetkov.
The chance here off the draw, rebound, found its way to Forsberg, and what a save, Kochetkov, as he tracked the puck. Joseph's now in front of bouncing chance for O'Reilly. Kochetkov makes the save, and Carolina will sweep this one out of the zone. Here's a chance right in, and the save is made by Kochetkov as Fedor Svechkov got a chance through. Now another opportunity, this time Blankenberg, and Kochetkov the end.
Part 1 complete. Then, in spite of the fact that he has played pretty well, Sebastian Aho hadn't really gotten going offensively this year, and that happened in the third period.
Chance for Aho again, he scores! A power play goal! The Canes, Sebastian Aho, hadn't had a point in 5 games, and this power play goal puts Carolina up 2-0. Breathing room in Music City.
Then there was the pass to Seth Jarvis for the second goal.
Jarvis with the one-timer, he scores! Oh, that was puck movement and a quick release. And Jarvis, his 19th of the year, makes it 3-0 Hurricanes.
And now the cherry on top.
Svechnikov with the intercept, trying to get it to Aho. He goes Aho, empty net, bingo! And it's 4-1 Carolina. And that's hitting a high note if you're Sebastian Aho. A 2-goal performance here tonight.
I know it was an empty net, but somebody had a 3-point night that desperately needed it. It was his first 3-point night of the season. He had 5 of those last year, and it was his first 2-goal game of the season in game 33. If Aho and Svechnikov, by the way, was great last night too. If those 2 guys get going on the score sheet and Kochetkov can continue to play well, Carolina's in a very good spot. Parkway Sleep, sound health, sound off for a great finish. Get it? From Sebastian Aho. Never mind.
I see what he did there. Finish, Aho, I got you. Thank you to Adam for 2 minutes of gold. You heard him hyping up Pyotr Kochetkov, and it's part of the story. I'm going to come back to it. 17-2 with Bussy or Kochetkov in net for the Carolina Hurricanes. For whatever reason, right? Because it's not just them, right? Maybe the team's playing better in front of them. Maybe there's some I don't know, social elements. Who knows? 17-2 is inarguable. That's what the Carolina Hurricanes have done with either Pyotr Kochetkov or Brandon Bussy in net. And you heard Adam right at the end there. Right, if Aho and Svech can keep playing well, and Kochetkov can, the Canes will be in a great spot. I mean, every team in the history of hockey, if your goalies keep playing the way those 2 are in the minutes that they need to play, you're going to be in a good spot. But I maybe I'm a cynic. Maybe I'm just naturally cynical. I am waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I can't help it. I get, all right, how does this end? I hope I'm waiting a very long time, maybe a couple of years. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's get to number 1 very quickly.
The one!
NC State men's basketball got a 108-72 win last night over Texas Southern. Paul McNeil scored 47 points and broke the school record for 3-pointers in a game. And Will Wade gave a unbelievable critical of his team, soundbite worthy rant after the game, and quite frankly, we don't have enough time for it here in the starting 5, but luckily for all of you, if you haven't heard it yet, we'll play the full 4 minutes for you at 5:45. 4 minutes of Will Wade front to back electricity, and react to it
Can we give him a little quick teaser of it?
Oh, I would love to.
Which one you want to go with?
Let's go with the daycare line.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go.
It's tough. We got a lot of nice guys. Got a lot of nice guys. Got a great team GPA. We got all that stuff. Over a 3.0. It's wonderful. We're running a daycare. We're running a competitive Division I college basketball coach. I am into academics. I was a teacher. I'm happy about the 3.2. But we're running a competitive basketball program. And quite frankly, I've been trying to get some urgency and some internal leadership. And I think Q's done a pretty good job. Outside of Q and Venn, those guys are playing about as well as we can ask them to play.
It's 4 minutes of electricity along the lines of, that's great for a daycare, but we're trying to field a competitive basketball team. How much of a weird side satisfaction is it for Kadir Copeland and Van Allen Lubin that in the middle of just a rant where he's tearing the team apart, he goes, Q and Van Allen Lubin, they're playing well. Other than that, it's like such a good little like, whew, all right, cool, not me. But we should listen. Like then you dive back into it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Similar bit of surprise satisfaction. Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. You may hear rates when you're looking for a mortgage are X, Y, and Z. They're too high, and you're, oh, no, it's all doom and gloom until someone says, oh, you can also get a no-cost loan from Miller Lending. And then you're like, oh, good, right? Let's do that. Right? He's not that all that doom and gloom is not for me. I'm going to Miller Lending. Gordon Miller's been doing no closing cost loans since 1987. And at Miller Lending, which, by the way, locally owned right here in Cary, zero means zero. No closing cost. It's the no-cost loan, and it is simply and aptly titled that because there's no cost, no fees, no surcharges. They don't roll all those other things into your rate. It's very simple. If you are getting a mortgage and the rate's a little higher than you'd like, no-cost loan allows you to keep more of that cash in your pocket, which helps you cover maybe a slightly higher monthly payment than you were hoping for, and the opportunity for a no-cost refi, which is the same as a no-cost original mortgage, will give you the opportunity, if rates drop, to get that lower monthly payment without having to pay all the costs and closing costs and fees. Once again, it gives you the flexibility moving forward. So it's the little bit of a silver lining and maybe some bad news when you're looking for your mortgage if rates are high. But rates go up and down. They're volatile, right? You just need to be ready to pounce when they do drop, and Miller Lending gives you that pounceability. If you're interested, give them a call. Ask some questions. No obligation, completely free. Just give them a call and ask more. 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break when we come back. Oh, no, actually, we need numbers game contestants first. Numbers game. We have a family 4-pack of Fandango tickets to see Avatar, Fire and Ash at a participating theater near you, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. That 4-pack goes to the winner of the numbers game. We need 2 contestants to play. Call in now. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. For a chance to win a complimentary family 4-pack of Fandango tickets to see the new Avatar. Numbers game, next.
Move your sports day forward.
You know the story of A Christmas Carol, the ghosts of past, present, and yet to come. We can tie it a bit to the Panthers season, the past, innocence by fans, big expectations, new faces, the present, a roller coaster ride of Bryce is our guy, or maybe not. Only the yet to come could be different than the Christmas tale. Unlike Scrooge, we actually care about December games.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bobo Bow time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Sammy Hanna from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, owner, operator. Happy holidays to you, sir. How you doing?
Happy holidays, Adam. Thanks for having us.
So, who do you want to wish a happy holidays to?
Well,
or Merry Christmas. You can do both.
Well, I want to wish a happy holidays to everyone out there. We appreciate all the listeners, all of our customers, and everybody that's given us an opportunity to join them in their home this year, even just to come out and just help assess their homes during the year. We just appreciate and thank everybody. We've got to be here for our homeowners, and our homeowners are always here for us.
I will tell you this about all the years that I have been A, customer, and B, just associated with you guys. It's the best customer service in the industry. You guys do a great job of making people feel special.
Well, thank you, Adam. We try. It's a lot of work and a lot of people involved, and got a great staff, and we're here for everyone out there.
All right, so you can experience the great customer service. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. The prize for today, family 4-pack of Fandango tickets to see Avatar, Fire, and Ash at participating theaters near you, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. The contestants for today, that'll be duking it out with jersey number trivia, is Henry in Chapel Hill and Jason in Fort Oaks. We'll bring each of them onto the show, ask them the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. We'll start with Henry in Chapel Hill. Henry, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, we are giving away movie tickets, and it's the holiday season. Natural convergence. What is the best holiday movie in the history of movies?
I'm going to say Home Alone.
Home Alone. Dennis, any follow-ups?
Nope.
All right, that's all he needs to know. We'll go to Jason in Four Oaks. Jason, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, same question to you. We are giving away movie tickets, Avatar, Fire, and Ash, and it's at the holiday season, so right at that intersection, we'll ask you, what is the greatest holiday movie in the history of movies?
I'm going to go with Elf.
All right, these are two good ones. We'll go to Dennis for his decision. Is it Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin, or is it Elf, Will Ferrell?
Two very good answers. One was correct. That is Home Alone. So Henry and Chapel Hill. That is the correct answer.
Elf's a good one, too. I would also, I would lean Home Alone as well, but on a different day, who knows? Maybe I would go Elf. Home Alone, though, gets Henry in Chapel Hill the opportunity to go first. Henry, are you ready to pick a category?
Yep.
All right, the categories are NFL players with late December birthdays, NFL players who wrote children's books, NBA players born south of the equator, or NHL hurricanes throughout history.
The first NFL.
All right, these are all NFL players who were born in late December. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, perfect. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Devontae Adams, Los Angeles Rams.
17.
Correct. Mike Alstott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
15.
Incorrect. Calvin Ridley, Tennessee Titans.
0.
Correct. Algie Crumpler, Atlanta Falcons.
17.
Incorrect. Mike Alstott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Pass.
Josie Jewell, Carolina Panthers.
5.
Incorrect. Algie Crumpler, Atlanta Falcons.
20.
Incorrect. Mike Alstott, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
14.
Incorrect. Josie Jewell. If you don't mind me asking, Henry, what year would you say you became an NFL fan?
I don't know, but
okay.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Mike Alstott and Algie Crumpler. There's a specific era you got to know to get those, and it's probably early 2000s, maybe late 90s. Devontae Adams, 17, you got it. Mike Alstott, number 40, fullback, neck collar or neck roll is what I'm looking for. Calvin Ridley, you got that with number 0. Algie Crumpler, 83, tight end with the Falcons. And Josie Jewell, Carolina Panthers, 47. You got 2, so that's leader in the clubhouse. Go ahead and stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. That brings us to Jason in Four Oaks. Jason, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes, I am.
All right, the categories are, remaining for you to choose from are, NFL players who wrote children's books, NBA players born south of the equator, or NHL hurricanes throughout history.
I'm going to go with NFL players that wrote children's books.
All right. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, 1 pass if you need it. You do need at least 3 for the victory. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No questions.
Perfect. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Terrell Owens, San Francisco 49ers.
81.
Correct. Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles.
1.
Correct. Julian Edelman, New England Patriots.
11.
Correct. Derek Johnson, Kansas City Chiefs.
95.
Incorrect. Brian Westbrook, Philadelphia Eagles.
38.
Incorrect. Derek Johnson, Kansas City Chiefs.
58.
Incorrect. Brian Westbrook, Philadelphia Eagles.
28.
Incorrect. Do you remember how many I said you needed to get to win?
3.
Do you know how many you got correct?
I got 3.
There you go. You are the winner. For those of you playing at home, we would have also accepted for Jalen Hurts number 2. He's worn both 1 and 2. Derek Johnson, 56. Brian Westbrook, 36 when he was with the Eagles. Those are the answers we were searching for. But as we just established, 3 is enough for the win. Congratulations, Jason. You get the 4-pack of Fandango tickets to see Avatar Fire and Ash at a participating theater near you, courtesy of 20th Century Studios.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize.
Do you have a list of movies that you need to watch the holiday time?
Just one.
Just one? Just Home Alone?
No. Alone. Well, I probably will watch Home Alone every year, but like we as a family, my wife, we've done it every year. We've been together, but now the kids are getting involved. The Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
Tim Allen, the Santa Claus.
It's a good one.
It is. Like, I understand, when you ask somebody, like, what's the best, that's a different question than, like, what's your favorite, right? The best is a measure of quality. Your favorite is a measure of taste. If you ask me what is the best holiday movie, I think there's debates to be had. If you ask me what is my favorite holiday movie, it's the Santa Claus, and it will forever be. And you can't argue with that because that's my favorite. That's an opinion. But there are others for other reasons that I would entertain in a best holiday movie competition or debate, whatever you want to call it. Home Alone and Elf would both be amongst them. I think they're both very good. But something about Tim Allen and the Santa Claus. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As promised, when we come back, I have 4 minutes of Will Wade calling out his team's effort, alertness, intensity, focus, awareness, toughness. I don't know what I've already said. Will Wade, head coach of NC State men's basketball. 4 minutes of audio that you will not want to miss. Coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
We've got NFL tonight on 99.9 The Fan. Presented by WakeMed.
Showtime, prime time.
Your primetime matchup is an NFC battle. It's the LA Rams and Seattle.
Here we go. Woo!
Pre-game starts at 7:30.
Y'all know what time it is, right?
Kickoff at 8:15.
Hey, together, baby. We just do this one play at a time.
On the Triangle's home for the NFL, 99.9 The Fan.
We came in for one thing, to win.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with AutoPay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The Wrap Up the Year sales event is on at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Right now, take advantage of over $11,000 off a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee or a new 2025 Jeep Grand L. We've got 11 to choose from, but when they're gone, they're gone. So don't wait to get your $11,000 off. Jeep, go anywhere, do anything. See dealer for details. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, this is your last week, your last chance to sign up for the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center to save 20%. Contact them now, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and use the promo code LOSEIT when you sign up. That way you can save 20%. That deal runs out on Friday, December 19th, so take advantage of it right now. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. Figure out if the program is the right thing for you. Bring any questions and health concerns that you might have and decide if you want to go forward with the program. I've lost over 40 pounds, 42 pounds to be exact, with the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've done that in 4 months. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or 919-897-7506. Use the promo code LOSEIT to save 20%. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Would you put Charlie Brown Christmas in the movie category or like the television category?
That's a good one, actually. That's a good question. I would probably put that in the movie category. Even though you see it on television often, it might go in the movie category.
It's like a sub, because that Claymation Rudolph.
I love the Claymation Rudolph.
I do too, but I don't put it up against like Home Alone.
No, I don't either.
It's in its own, like the Grinch, the old school one.
Yes.
Like those are in their own weird little side category for me that might compete against each other. But it feels wrong putting that up against like Elf.
It might be best actually television because that's how they initially were aired was as TV specials.
But they're too long. They're not an episode. I don't know. It's hard to. I never know whether to include them or not. Like if somebody would have said Charlie Brown Christmas when I asked for the greatest holiday movie, I don't know if I would have been like that. You're not even in the right. That's not the right category.
A good question. We'll get research on that.
All right, yeah, we'll figure it out. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before the break, I promised you 4 minutes of Will Wade's post-game press conference, and the reason why is because, from a journalism standpoint, you're always looking to trim fat, right? You write your article, and then you realize, okay, we can cut this sentence out. This sentence doesn't advance the story. This quote is redundant with this quote, and you trim and you cut the fat until you have just the good stuff. Same is true in audio, right? You go to a press conference, you might record the whole thing. You try to get it down to 20-second clips that get the point across. There's 4 minutes from Will Wade in his post-game presser last night after NC State beat Texas Southern. Paul McNeil broke the school record for three-pointers in a game, scored 47 points, had 10 rebounds. Like, there was a lot of good. Will Wade went on a conversation with the media that was very critical of the personality and kind of composition of his team. And when we tried to trim the fat, there really wasn't anything to trim. It was all the lean stuff. So here's 4 minutes of the post-game presser with Will Wade after the game last night.
It's tough. We got a lot of nice guys. Got a lot of nice guys. Got a great team GPA. We got all that stuff. Over 3.0. We got all that stuff. It's wonderful. We're running a daycare. We're running a competitive Division I college basketball coach. I am into academics. I was a teacher. I'm happy about the 3-2. But we're running a competitive basketball program. And quite frankly, I've been trying to get some urgency and some internal leadership. And I think Q's done a pretty good job. Outside of Q and Venn, those guys are playing about as well as we can ask them to play. We take on the personality. We got a lot of casual personalities on our team. We don't have people that are revved up and ready to go. I mean, I had one of the kids come to me, oh, I'm tough. I said, you're not in the top 50 of the toughest players I've coached. Not even the top 50. I don't want to hear that. You ain't tough. You don't make the top 50. You would make the top 25 of the last 5 years of who I've coached. And I sat out a year. I mean, I don't want to hear that. When you got casual guys, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. But, it's about who can put. But I did think Venn and Q took a step forward with their leadership. But like today in our shoot-around, we made 88 mistakes in our shoot-around. I chart all of it. We made 88 mistakes in our shoot-around. We made 23 defensive errors, 13 offensive execution errors, 36 on those. The other ones were different. 36 errors on those. Our first team made 14. Our second team made 22. How the hell can you be on the second team and watch the first team do it and make 8 more mistakes? You're running the same stuff. Casual, lack of attention to detail, lack of focus. And that's great when you have somebody that sets the ACC record for made threes and the school record for made threes, but we're relying on hope that one of these cats is going to go ballistic every night. That's what we rely on, just hope, and hope's a bad strategy in my book.
Is it concerning that it's taking this long to get things going? Is that...
It ain't going. It's concerning it's taking this long and we're not there. And we got all high major games from here on out. Kindergarten's over. We got all high major games from here on out. I mean, it's concerning. I played some of those kids tonight. I made their Christmas. It's going to be miserable for me. I made their Christmas. They got a Christmas present a week early playing some of these guys. But, it is. I've been concerned for weeks. But this is it is. We are who we are. I said it a couple weeks ago. If you're not physical and you're not tough, you better be alert and aware. And we're still none of the four. We're not physical. We're not tough. We're not alert. We're not aware. If you're alert and aware, you don't give up 5 points on baseline out of bounds plays with the clock under 3 seconds. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. Our goal every game is to win baseline and sideline out of bounds by 6+. We never do it. We made it tonight because we actually executed our inbounds plays. But we just don't do it. It's beyond concerning. Concerns like here. This is like a problem. Major problem. We'll see. We got to have some internal leadership. That's what we got to have. We got to have internal leadership. We got to have urgency. We got to have intensity. We got to have effort on every possession. We have to dominate possessions. Dominate possessions. And we just get through possessions. Just hold on for dear life in possessions.
How's that taste? Everybody on NC State's basketball team, aside from Kadir Copeland and Van Allen Lubin, they were singled out as playing pretty well. Here's there's a lot to get to there. There's a lot that he was trying to get across. I believe there was some coaching in the media. I believe there was some recruiting in the media. I believe there's a lot of messages being sent. But if you're looking for big picture stuff there, welcome to the era of players getting paid to play basketball. Right? If you're not being paid, if you're there on hey, you're just getting a free education, then guess what? Can't really have that whole speech that Will Wade just gave, right? Because if you're doing your thing in the classroom and you're maybe not as aggressive as you should be in basketball, it's like, well, as long as you're working hard, you're showing up, you're saying all the right things, you're doing all the right things, you're a casual guy, you can't really criticize that when you're a student athlete. But as soon as you're getting paid revenue share, as soon as you're getting paid to play basketball by the school, it is completely fair for them to expect both educational commitment, right? Making sure your GPA, whatever it is, and also that you're doing and taking care of business on the basketball court. The moment you get paid for something is the moment they can demand things from you, right? Because now it's an exchange of currency for goods and services. And if your coach, a.k.a. your boss, is expecting something of you and you're not delivering, you're going to hear about it. Just like salespeople out there, right? If you're given a quota and you don't reach it, they're going to tell you all the things you're not doing right. If you're reaching your quota, guess what? They're gonna let you do what you're doing. And for whatever reason, Will Wade is looking at his roster and they're not reaching the quotas he's set for them as far as effort, as far as commitment. He talked about, and the irony is 4 minutes of straight fire. There's more we could have played for you. He talked about Paul McNeil being one of the only ones getting extra work in when everyone else went to a concert. Paul McNeil then scores 47 points. He's the one that, went in and shot around for 45 extra minutes, got extra shots up, and he was the one that was making shots in a game, and Will Wade made the direct A to B connection there. There's a lot, I believe, of coaching through the media there. Right? I don't know if everything is as dramatic as what Will Wade said, but I believe he said all that for a reason. I believe he said all of that for a reason. I've been concerned for weeks, stood out to me. I've been concerned for weeks. That is a head coach of a major college basketball program that, if he's saying he'd been concerned for weeks, we're going back to right at the beginning of December, maybe a little bit longer than that. That's very soon to look at your roster and say, I'm worried about it in your first year.
It's not the first time that we've heard him be critical of his team post-game. He even talked about it Maui. I remember actually I was at his post-game presser against Kansas this past Saturday, and he said that if we played like that in Maui, far from perfect, but if we played competitive like that in Maui, we actually win some games there. So this is probably going all the way back to even before Thanksgiving.
And before the UNC Asheville game, there was a 5-minute all-timer of a dress down of his team. And the irony is, I a few times this year I've said, this seems like the big option, right? This seems like he's using all of the ammunition he has, criticizing his team like this publicly. What happens if he doesn't get the results that he wants? Turns out he's like, oh no, I got more. I got more where that came from. Maybe it's just a consistency thing. But I saw somebody that said nobody rises to low expectations. It might just be setting an extremely high bar, and he is going to kind of berate his team publicly until they reach that high bar. And if you don't want to reach it, cool, get lost. It is fascinating how quickly this season has had ups, downs, lefts, rights, twirly birds, loop-de-loops for the NC State Wolfpack, and we haven't even gotten to conference play yet. The line he said, all our games from this point out are high major, kindergarten's over, is such a, first of all, kind of gangster line.
Kind of a bar.
But second of all, that's how he sees the mid-majors. That's kindergarten. That's where we're learning the basics. That's where we better dominate. That's where we better get 100 on all of our tests because the high majors are looming. There's 10 lines in there that I could break down for you. Not physical, not tough, not alert, not aware. As an athlete, you have to hear that and be pretty insulted. You better show up, practice, ready to work. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have Overdrive coming up next where we are going to start off hearing from Pat Welter, a friend of the show, WRAL sports investigative reporter. He is featured in tonight's documentary all about Bill Belichick, which debuts on WRAL. So we'll get some info and insight into that one to start off Overdrive. We'll be back tomorrow to round out the week and get you set for a weekend of great sports. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody.
Listen for college football's best through January 19th. From the Military Bowl to the Natty in Miami, every major bowl game will be brought to you live.
Fans rush the field. NC State's a winner and knocks off undefeated top 10 Georgia Tech. 48-36 the final.
Bowl season on 99.9 The Fan and Buzz Sports is presented by Wake Men, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
Is your heating and air system ready for cooler weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Hey guys, this is Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, and we know that you want to get your wife or girlfriend something special this Christmas, but sometimes you just don't know what to get. You wonder, what will she like? What will make her feel special? What will make her say, wow? At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we have experts that are here to help. We specialize in making you look like a hero. You can even send her in to make a wish list that we keep on file to help make your life just a little bit easier. Bailey's has the largest selection of jewelry in North Carolina, including designers like David Yurman, Lagos, Marco Biccigo, and Apolita, as well as beautifully curated Bailey's collections. And don't fret, because if for some reason she doesn't love your gift, we have a 30-day return policy. Our goal is to be your go-to jeweler for life. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, located in Raleigh.